You tuned in Rotation, the podcast with Street Team Heck. We going raw, we going the realest of the real, and we going uncut. It is rotation. We will go into conspiracy theories. We're not gonna push nothing as fact if it's not. We will put the disclaimer in there. You feel me? I don't even care, bro. I jumped in this podcast game ready for all this stuff. I mean, the only thing is on that. You already know what time it is. Get in rotation.
Yeah. Finally free. I made it through all the troubles. All of the struggle. We here now. It don't get no better than this, man, I'm telling you. Yeah. Hey, look, I did what they told me I couldn't. I bet you that they'll never doubt me again. Don't care if it's legal or not. Whatever it is, I'm determined to win. I swerve in the fin and do it for those who can't see the beauty in them. Cause the beauty in them is a gift to the world, but you gotta see it within. Don't run from the mirror. See, I found liberty right in the midst of a storm. Divine, though I was confined, refined from pressure. My patience was tattered and worn. I'm giving you truth. I'm giving you me, and I'm giving you proof. I got to the root, and now I'm positioned to go to the roof. Unravel the noose, they cut you a check. I told them to cut me a loose. Cause how am I free with $1 million to spend if me and my niggas are loose? Catch me in luxury coupes, that's what I produce. I promise it's never a ruse. The bonus is holding the onus of those respect who won't even give you a jewel. I speak to their heart, I speak to their mind, I speak to their soul. Like 11:11 or 4:44, the spiritual realm is untold. I let it unfold and bet on my soul that you never see me rescind or see me give in. I follow my dreams before I give up and just follow a trend. I'm
finally free. I'm spreading my wings. I'm finally free. I'm blessed.
Stop fucking playing. This my shit.
definitely at work.
Man, we got a super special guest in the building tonight, man. In Rotation, the podcast, man. It's episode 3. And episode 3, but he definitely one of the first 2 people I thought of when I thought about this format and the way I wanted it formatted. You know, I immediately was like, I need Brad Fax on my show, bro. Shout out to the brother Brad Fax, man. Welcome. I appreciate you being here, bro.
Just like I told you off camera, man, and off the air, man. Like, you call, I'm coming.
That's what's up, bro.
Like, it's that much love and respect.
No bullshit. I remember when I met you.
Yeah.
I went to that show, and I remember the only reason I went to that show, bro, was because Fam Miles, or what I think that's his name.
Yeah, at the high note.
The high note. Because I did the high note plenty times before that, because my cousin used to do a little thing or whatever. But Fam always wanted me to pay to perform. Yeah. Always. Yeah. And I was like, no, I'm not going to do it. Yeah. Years. I'm talking, it was like 3 years, Fam was trying to push it. I'm like, nah. Finally, he was like, you want to be a featured guest?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, bro. And I came, and I remember my shit fucked up. I ran back to the studio, came back. I was like, look, I fixed it. Boom. And I got on there, and I was just so geeked to have that opportunity.
Yeah.
I would have never thought a motherfucker like you was standing there watching me rap, bro.
I'm going to tell you something, though. I'm going to tell you something, right?
And I say that because, real quick,
I
say that because I respect your lyricism.
I appreciate it.
And, you know, this podcast ain't even on that, but off rip, I respect that.
Yeah.
Off rip.
Likewise. But I'm going to tell you something, though. So I had been home. That was 2017. That was 2017, 2018, somewhere around there. About 5 years ago. Yeah.
That's pre-COVID.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, pre-COVID, fresh Trump, all of that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Fresh Trump.
Yeah, fresh Trump. But dog, you impressed the shit out of me. So mind you, look, I'm a student of hip hop.
Facts.
And just the culture.
Which I feel like every great MC is willing to admit that.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean?
And so when I seen you, I told Donovan, I asked Donovan, who the fuck is that, man? Like, dog, listen.
He ain't know either. I don't think I met him.
No. We all met that night, like, for real.
That's crazy.
KCO was there. Rest in peace, KCO.
Rest in peace.
And dog, like, it was just song after song, and it was just nonstop breath control and showmanship. I was like, this motherfucker is cold. And now, mind you, I'm the kind of guy that's like this. I'm like, okay, this is what I'm up against. Not competitively,
No,
but I'm
no.
just like,
No,
man,
this
this what
is-
I'm up against, huh?
This is what I got to do to
This-
be in the fucking running for any type of acknowledgement.
This how I'm
on
engaging,
this
you know what I'm
motherfucker.
saying? So I said, damn, this motherfucker, dog. I'm like, who was dude? Because I missed your name, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, damn, I gotta meet dude, right? So then, I watched you as a fan, because I ain't never so into myself where I can't put on my consumer or fan hat.
Type shit.
You
You
know what I'm
too
saying?
cool for school.
Yeah, I ain't with that shit. So
Yeah.
I was like, dog, this motherfucker is cold. And I'm listening to you like every word. And so listen, I'm like the
That's so
ultimate
crazy.
analyst. You know what I mean? I'm like the ultimate analyst. I'm even with myself, I'm a critique. I'm all of this shit, right?
Yeah. I
So-
feel you 100%.
When you make a motherfucker forget the moments when you would typically say, I would have said this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, oh, that was cold, but he kind
But I
of could
would
have
have said
did this. Yeah.
It was none of that.
damn. That's crazy.
No lie, dog, and I'm not gassing you. I'm not lying to you. It was none of. I was like, dog, this motherfucker the shit. Now, the Fast Life hadn't even came out yet.
Yeah, no, I had no idea.
hadn't even came out
I had
yet.
no idea you was even a
Yeah.
rapper, bro. Like, I hate to say rapper, bro. No, I ain't gonna lie. You know, but just since we
No,
on the
I
podcast,
get it. I get it.
hate
Yeah.
saying rap. In these days, like, oh, you a rapper, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
they
it's
definitely
it's-
minimized the,
You know what I mean? Like, it's not
yeah.
you an MC, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't know that.
So I'm gonna tell you part of the reason why not many people, even though I was there to perform, because I remember what I performed too. I remember what you said to me after the fact, because it was a competition, and I think me and
was.
Donovan came in. I came in third place. Donovan came in second, and then I'm gonna tell you who won. Young Boss won.
Young Boss.
Listen, remember at the time, LMA, I said LMA. LMA has just dropped Boot Up.
Okay.
He did a
Damn,
cover.
it was that long ago. Boot
Yeah,
Up was
dog.
a minute ago.
He did a cover of Boot Up, right? And whoever the DJ was, I can't recall who it was, but it was Chevy.
Yeah, it sure was.
Yeah,
Yep.
Chevy. Something happened up there, and the beat cut, but Young Boss kept going.
And it
And
just killed the
when he
whole shit.
came back, it's like he caught the same vibe.
Like
when
he was
I was
already-
like, "Oh shit!" And I knew it. I was like,
Yeah,
"I see,
yeah.
I ain't gonna win this one,"
That's
because
crazy.
it's like it was his night. You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes you just, you know what's funny about that competition shit is, I remember I had rap, bro, and I remember that shit because I felt there's not too many times I go to a show and I rap and I be like, I gotta prove myself.
Yeah.
I'm already knowing, like, bro,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
finna
yeah,
go
yeah,
up
for
here,
sure, yeah.
and if anything, my goal is to make the motherfuckers in the back. There's always some niggas in the back that are like,
Yeah.
and then after a while, I get them to, and when I see them go like this,
Yeah.
that's all I
That's
need,
them
bro.
two tough niggas that be like,
Yeah, you too tough. I'm too cool.
Yeah.
You know, he up there. He. What the fuck? This fat Puerto Rican motherfucker about
Yeah.
to say? You know what I'm saying? And then I get up there, and then I could just see him slowly
Yeah.
start to. And by the last song, they like, let's go. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? That's
yeah,
what
yeah.
I get
Yeah.
out of rap the most for me when I go
That's
on
what's
stage.
up. Yeah.
But it was a competition. I didn't really know that. I was rapping, and I was like, and I just knew I rapped my heart out, bro, because I wanted dude to see, bro. Like when you contact me, you got to pay
It's
me.
gonna be worth it, yeah.
Because this is what you gonna get when you contact me.
Yeah.
Nobody in here know me, and I had everybody engaged.
I remember saying to myself, this motherfucker better not be a part of the competition.
No, check me out. That's what I was getting to.
I was like,
I
this
remember. I
motherfucker
remember.
here,
I'm rapping. I'm talking about. I'm getting my shit off. I don't think I skipped fucking missed one word that night.
No, you didn't. You
I'm
definitely
like,
didn't.
boom, boom. And when I get done, I see everybody's looking at me, bro.
Yeah.
The whole little high note that was filled up right there was like on it. They was like, and then I remember I'm like, damn, like it's like that. Like, okay, this is the toughest crowd ever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then Miles came on stage and he was like, hey, y'all know he not part of the competition and shit.
Dog,
So y'all could clap and
listen.
shit. Everybody was like, hey.
I was impressed. Man, let me tell you something, dog. It's been a few times in my life, man, where I've been on the yard, in the joint, or in school, in the lunchroom, where I was just like, damn. Now, mind you,
That's facts. I know exactly what you mean.
yeah, I was like, dog, I'm finna go back in the lab and rectify some shit. You know, I'm about to change to do something. But so at that time, bro, I hadn't even been home. It wasn't even a year and a half yet.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? And
How many shows you think you did before that?
none, I don't think. Well, I did the hot. Now Not the high note. I did the Miramar.
Okay.
Because I was dealing with this company called My Afton. And they would
remember
find,
Afton.
yeah, you know, they would find shows and
That's
shit.
valid,
So
yeah.
I did the Miramar a
The
couple
Miramar
of
is
times.
no matter, even the old school Miramar is always a good place to perform.
Yeah. And it was great.
Because it gives you like that real stage feel.
Yeah, man. And like, it was great. And I felt like, damn, this where I belong. On stage doing something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
So the Miramar was the only thing I had done. I got to the high note because my homeboy Pharaoh knew Miles, and I guess Pharaoh must have said something to Miles, and Miles was like, "Man, tell Brad to come through, whatever." I'm like, I'm not finna go down there. You know, I don't know these motherfuckers. I ain't finna do all that. Now I'm still in that mind frame though. I'm still
Nah,
that nigga,
right.
nigga. I'm Brad, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
I'm fresh out the joint,
You
man.
out the joint. And then
Yeah.
we about to get to that because that's the main reason we
Yeah, so, but that was like really that energy being in there with a bunch of dope motherfuckers, man. Like that was my thing, and it just felt like this is where I belong.
exactly.
Like if it
that's
felt,
the best feeling.
Yeah, man, and I couldn't even really put it into words. And I remember Donovan, his career, he gonna kill me for this too. But I remember Dog said, he like, man, because he lost the competition that night. He lost the Young
All
Bucks.
right.
He was like, man, I'm through with music. I said, man, shut the fuck up. What's wrong with you,
Yeah.
man? You know what I'm saying? We rolled to the crib, and I dropped him off. We rolled to the house. He like, man, I'm through with this music shit. I'm through with competitions. And really, my headspace, the headspace I was in was much different than his because, like, it wasn't a competition for me. It was me being free.
It's newfound freedom,
And
bro.
the
You out here doing
representation,
it.
yeah, man. Like, I'm not doing this shit for me. I'm doing this shit for the guys that can't do it.
That can't
You know
never
what
do
I'm
it
saying?
again. Dang.
That ain't gonna never do it again. So, I remember the song I performed too. It was a song called "Online," and it was a story about Chris Hansen. Remember Chris Hansen?
Yeah,
You used to host Dateline back
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
day
yeah.
with To Catch a Predator
Walk
and
up
shit.
like, hey, what you
Yeah,
what you doing here?
yeah. And that was just one of them songs. Like I recorded it, but I really had no intent on doing much with it because music had changed so much at that time that I wanted to deliver something different besides just that. The same type of delivery, but
Yeah.
the content would have been different. You know what I'm saying?
So would you say was you rapping when you was locked up?
Man, listen, let me
Like
tell you
I'm
something.
talking about like in front of people, like spitting.
Bro, that
and
shit kept me sane.
Just
when I tell
rapping.
you, I'm gonna tell you something, dog. Niggas was waiting on me to come home.
That's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah, man.
like you was rapping.
Yeah.
Rapping. You know what's crazy? When I did my because I only did a year, bro.
Mm-hmm.
So when I did my little year though, I ain't write not one rap, bro,
Mm-hmm.
and I couldn't.
Really?
I just had the worst writer's block ever.
I think the first year I didn't either.
So maybe it's just because you
Yeah,
know,
I
the
was
stretch of time
devastated.
wasn't long enough or whatever.
Yeah.
But I remember when I got out, I was like, because before when I went in, I had stacks. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I'm talking about like boxes full of
Yeah.
from being at school and shit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Shit like that. But when I came out, you know, my guys was like, "Hey, fam, what's up? I know you been writing killing
Yeah.
shit." I'm like,
Yeah,
bro,
yeah,
I
yeah.
ain't wrote one rap. I probably read
Yeah.
one book. And I was just like, I don't know what it was, bro, but I just I just couldn't do it. I was
I'm
so
gonna tell you what it
fucking-
is, right? It takes a little while for you to get back to you. So going through that shit, right? Going through whatever life changing or devastating situation, you know, there's stages of grief that a motherfucker deal with.
type
right?
shit.
So
It might not even look like grief.
It
'Cause
might not
did-
even look
definitely
like
didn't.
grief. Yeah, it's disbelief,
Yeah.
it's devastation, it's disappointment, it's depression, all of that shit. It takes a little while to get to, oh, I'll be all right. To even think about tomorrow. Tomorrow as in the future. Not
No,
just,
that's facts.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
facts.
So,
So I guess for to tie it into what you're saying is because when I never been locked up,
Mm-hmm.
and it's crazy because you know I don't know if you feel like this, but the amount of shit I did before I got locked up,
Yeah.
and what I got locked up for,
Yeah.
it was like, bro, what, like what the,
yeah.
like I've
yeah,
done way worse shit than the, you know what I'm saying,
Y'all
like
get me
shit
for
that
this shit?
yeah, like
yeah,
y'all get me for this, you know, it was
Yeah.
it was some serious shit, but it wasn't like. It wasn't an accomplishment to me. I didn't
Yeah.
feel no more gangster or no more nothing.
Yeah.
I just handled my business, I thought, in my mind.
Yeah,
you
for
know
sure,
what I mean? And
for
then
sure.
I was like, damn. And then what made it worse is since I never been locked up, the first time I was ever in handcuffs,
Yeah.
I ain't seen outside for a year, bro.
That shit devastating.
That shit fucked me
Yeah,
up.
I know.
And, you know,
Yeah.
and then my shit was 8 months before I even got my sentence.
Yeah.
So when that happened, I was like 8 months, my first time ever being in
Yeah.
jail, and I'm in there for 8 months waiting.
Yeah.
And the first thing they hit me with is like some fucking 4 in, 5 out, some
Because you
crazy
gotta think though,
shit.
man. Like, man, let me tell you something, dog. Think about it's November 28th right now, right?
Yeah.
So think about 8 months. That's July next
I
year.
about to say it's July,
Yeah, that's July next year, right? So can you imagine? Well, of course you can, but just
Yeah.
imagine how many things are going to transpire between now and July next year.
See, and then when I was 18, so you don't think about time.
Yeah,
like
the
that.
future is
time,
death
yeah,
is
that
a
shit-
distant rumor to the
It's
young.
like-
Young people don't even think about that shit. Yeah,
you know,
for
yeah,
sure.
like so it was like,
Yeah.
but that shit was crazy because I didn't write not one rap, and that was my love. It still
I
is
can
to this
understand
day.
that.
You know what I mean? Like,
I totally get it.
that's why I asked. Like you was rapping in there, but
Yeah.
you did the 12.
But
so
it
it's like-
took a long time for me to be able to even pick up a pen and be able to be honest. Like honest within the music as opposed to pretending I was okay. Cause I wasn't okay.
Like I'm cool. I'm a rap for y'all. You know what I
I'm
mean?
not
Like,
okay.
Yeah,
Like
at all.
every single time I went to the hole, I never wanted to rap.
I'll
And
tell you-
niggas was always down there like, dog, that's Brad down there.
Yeah. What the,
Hey, bro, let me hear something. Like, man, I'm not fucking with y'all, man. I'm in jail. I don't want to be here.
I'm
either.
in jail.
Yeah, I don't want to be
The
here.
worst of the worst shit.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
so-
telling you right now, 24 hours. I got one time.
Yeah,
And it was
Yeah,
like
yeah.
this game. And I went to one of them
What up,
rickety
Tree?
ass little county jails.
Yeah, that's even worse.
Like the door. You can hear him walking down the hall with the keys and shit coming up. You know what I mean? And I was like, this shit is fucking terrible,
This is some
fam.
TV
Like,
shit.
Yeah,
Like-
and then I remember I went into the hole one time for that. And they was going to take away my little bitch ass community service I had.
Yeah.
And you know how 2 days got me one off.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
really I did
yeah,
like
yeah.
11 months in a day or something
Yeah,
like that. Because
yeah.
I worked a little weak ass 20 days off.
That
or
shit
whatever.
rough, man. When you really think about it,
Yeah,
because
shit.
nobody's
I don't know.
supposed to be really locked up anyway.
And y'all was catching bids during your bid in that motherfucker on what?
Yeah. So I'm gonna tell you something. So I'd like to give you a
Motherfuckers talk about
backstory,
they did a
right?
year in that motherfucker.
So I did the 12 straight from 04 to 16. But before that, I did 5
type shit.
because I was 15 when I went in
Right.
97. And
So the 5 was when you was 17.
I was 15.
15, I meant.
So
My
listen,
bad.
what happened was this, right? It's crazy because what they did was, so I got 25 years in 1997, right?
Okay.
And what they did, they call it bifurcated, where they split my sentence in half. They gave me 5 years for this, because I had an armed robbery and attempted homicide.
Right.
So they gave me 5 years for the shooting and 20 years for the armed robbery, which was a stayed sentence.
Which is fucking crazy when you say it out loud, bro.
Saying it now out loud, and I lived it, is retarded as fuck.
That shit sounds fucking
It
stupid.
doesn't. It's unreal, though.
Yeah, it's
so
like-
so typically a stayed sentence is like, okay, you get like 10-year stay, 5-year probation. Typically the stayed sentence is longer than the actual probation
in the
sentence.
probation, right.
My shit was parallel. They gave me 20 years probation, 20 years stay at 15. So it was guaranteed. So it was guaranteed that I was gonna make a mistake or go back to prison at some point, because everything, it's no different than when slavery happened and Reconstruction took place, and then when the Emancipation Proclamation came about in 1862, when Texas freed their slaves in 1865, and the black codes they made everything a crime. So the 13th Amendment
So
says
anything you do, you
yeah, so the
set up
13th
for
Amendment
that.
says, hey, slavery or involuntary servitude is prohibited unless being punished for a crime, right? Bam, okay. So now what they do, they make everything a crime. Vagrancy, you can't look a white man in his eyes, you can't be outside a certain jurisdiction at a certain time, et cetera, et cetera. Bam. It's no different than what it is right now. So now everything is a crime. Two fellas can't even hang out with each other, or you subject to go back to prison.
I didn't know that rule, and I
Yeah.
almost got locked the fuck up for that.
But check this out, though. Every motherfucker in this city, damn near, Wisconsin incarcerates black people and Latinos
Stupidly.
at
Yeah.
a higher rate than any other state in the
So
country.
that's a question I want to ask. Thank you. That's a good segue. When I was reading your book, you was talking about your experiences and like how it was in there, and I always wanted to know. This was you talking 97, you said?
Yep, 97.
So
when I
97, what was the ratio of colors in there?
Well, so the thing of it was this, right? So I was in the county. I was in 5C, the pod 5C, which is pretty much the pod where everybody going up north. Everybody going to prison. There ain't many motherfuckers that beat cases in 5C. Like you either got a heinous crime.
Oh, so you saying this is like some like a waiting, like a holding?
Yeah. So
holding.
the county jail in 5C, you either going to court, waiting to go to court or whatever, but you guaranteed you're gonna get some time. Or at least you beat the case. 99% of the time, motherfuckers don't beat cases.
It's 1 out of 10 motherfuckers.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like, but typically motherfuckers in 5C going to prison. I'm 15. And at the time I was the youngest down there. So I'm down there in the county jail, not really understanding the severity of what's taking place. And I'm just like, well, I know I did something wrong. This is my punishment. I had no idea.
You not think about the time that's about to come at you.
I had no idea 25 years later I'd be still dealing with this shit. You know what I'm saying?
And that's just it. For the record, you know, speaking to the people, like I did 7 years out of my life, and I had 8 over my head.
Yeah.
You know, and I had a state and imposed parole sentence.
Yeah.
So meaning, if I would have caught it, that's it. I'm not. There ain't no going to see the judge.
I know.
And the re-sentence, none of that. If you get revocated, you doing your 8 in, 8 out.
I wish that's a withheld. If they had given you a withheld, no. Because you had to stay.
No, okay, you're saying withheld is when
you got to go back in front of the judge.
The judge is like, all right.
I wish they had gave me a withheld.
What though? You
can
fuck around,
I
get
would
out
have been back
some
in front of
shit.
the judge.
No, right.
But no, they wasn't fucking with me.
See, I didn't understand that.
Me either at the time.
When I got locked up, you know, and then like I didn't know Wisconsin didn't do bails, bonds, and shit. I didn't find that out till you in jail.
All cash bail.
And you like 10,000. The judge banged this motherfucking gavel, and I'm like 10K.
Bail,
I'm like,
yeah.
I could get $1,000. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
no,
nigga, you watch too much TV. The lawyer was like, bro, you watch too much TV. There's no, it's 10,000.
And the catch-22 is this: if your bail is 10,000 and somebody comes with 10,000, they getting investigated.
Because you can't have they got to put up a
the
house or
mark is
something like
10,000.
that.
Yeah, it's got to be
It
something.
got to be something collateral.
else.
It can't be. So it's crazy. Yeah, that's some fucking.
Yeah, man.
But the reason I asked is because I always wanted to show everyone, you know, why it's so fucked up. It is fucked up because if you living in Wisconsin, and if you know this, if you're from Wisconsin, I lived up north.
Right.
When I first came to Wisconsin, it was up north. It was a tiny ass little town, and it was a bunch of Mexican immigrants that worked at this plant, this meat plant in the middle of this little town. So it was just Mexicans, and everybody else was white. You know what I mean? So it's like I grew up knowing that this is what Wisconsin is like. Yeah. Then I came to Milwaukee. Milwaukee was after that, and then I came to Milwaukee, met my cousin. I got family. Boom, boom. You know, the rest is history. I fell in love with Milwaukee ever since. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you know, there's not colored niggas outside of Milwaukee, bro.
It's not.
There's not people outside of Milwaukee. Now there is. Now it's a lot more.
Most people left here though and went there. A lot of people came from out of state and went to small towns with some hustle shit.
Type shit.
You know what I'm saying? Chicago, Minnesota, motherfuckers left Milwaukee, went to Green Bay, Appleton, Fond du Lac,
somewhere else to
like
go
that.
get it. Yeah. So, but typically growing up, when you seen a black or a Puerto Rican or a Mexican dude, you know, and when I say Mexican, it's a difference between the immigrant Mexicans and the American Mexicans. You know what I mean?
It definitely, of course.
Yeah, when you see the American Mexicans, you know, typically they from Milwaukee.
The American Mexicans I went to school with at Grant Avenue.
Yeah,
they was kings and shit.
And they go crazy.
We was beefing back in the day.
They go crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Them other motherfuckers would be like, they'll turn you into the police, all type of at work, all type of shit. Like I had a job, at this place called, I'm gonna out their ass too. This place called Point of Purchase in Kenosha, Wisconsin. 99.9% of the people that's in this motherfucking job are Mexicans, and ain't none of them documented. And it's owned by a white man.
Of course it is.
But check this out though. Owned by a white man who speaks fluent Spanish, who doesn't speak English to nobody. So he pretends as if
he Mexican.
I caught him one day, right? I'm like, this motherfucker ain't, white. I knew he was. Yeah.
Bro, it's
Point of Purchase in Kenosha.
Boycott
their ass.
POP, hold it down.
And that's exactly what they at. Listen, when you walk up to this, when you drive up to the damn building, it say POP. I promise you, I'm not on Green Bay Avenue. I'm dead serious, dog.
No, but no bullshit. Like, you know, this little town I'm talking about, bro, I seen real life niggas hopping out, man. You know, and I'm probably gonna say this every podcast because it comes up. You know, but you know, shout out to my Mexican family. You know, them that hold it down, fam.
Always, you know that.
You know, that's the most
For sure.
hardworking motherfuckers I know.
Man, them
but
people, man.
but I seen it first fucking hand, nigga. I remember the immigration motherfuckers rode through that town, bro, and I ain't seen motherfuckers for days.
Yeah.
Like it was like, damn, for real. Like we had to be careful and shit because you know
They did Nature's Path like that.
ran through there.
Yeah. And we
That's
found out every
crazy.
motherfucker we thought was named Jose wasn't named Jose.
Nope.
I was like, what the fuck, dog, dude?
They don't be as old as they
Yeah,
say. They don't
wasn't
say
fucking
nothing.
around.
You know what I mean? But yeah, so that like I said, the reason I asked that is because I always wanted to know. Even back then, it would just be a testament to how fucked up it is. Because if you go up north Wisconsin, it ain't.
Yeah.
There's no colored people out there, bro.
It's-
So if you go to the,
it's bad,
like
man.
you said, you was in Oshkosh.
I was in Oshkosh.
That's up north, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Most of them are pretty much. You know what I mean? But Oshkosh is up north. You know?
Because the thing of it is this though. What they do is this: there's a philosophy that's unspoken with the DOC where they separate you from your family. I call it integrated segregation because you segregated from society, but you integrated with other people who have been segregated from society.
Right.
Whether it's black, white, Latino, Asian, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Even a lot of immigrants who come from other countries besides just Mexico. A friend of mine named Kabopi, man, from Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, he got deported because he caught a felony in Wisconsin. And it wasn't even a violent felony. They just deported him. You know what I'm saying?
Thought I said Tanzania.
Yeah, for real. But they separate you from your family and then have your family make these long, outrageous commutes to come see you. And then when they get there, they put them through so much bullshit, going through metal detectors, underwire bras. You got to take your like you can't wear spandex, you can't wear leggings, all of this unnecessary shit just to come see the person you love. So it's an attempt at discouraging the familial connection that you would typically have if it was just I'm going to see Heck or I'm going to see Brad or whatever. I can just pull up and go say, hey, how you doing? I love you.
Right.
You know, so it's so much red tape that they have to go through to get to the person that they love in the visiting room for a couple of hours. And then while you in there, you can't do certain things. You can't hold hands. You can't put your arm around somebody while you want a picture. It's all designed to have to create a disconnect in people, which ultimately leads to recidivism in the big picture. Because if I can't be close to my people when they want to support me, when I come home, I don't know you no more.
Yeah,
you don't know
it.
me no more. So now I'm out here trying to fend for myself and figure out what I need to do.
You literally damn near you was dead. While
Man,
you was
100%,
gone, you was just not here.
Yeah. So
Dang.
for anybody that's coming home, man, that listen, let me tell you something. I'm gonna tell you this. I am probably the most accessible person when it comes to motherfuckers in the joint because I know everybody needs somebody to believe in them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
And
facts.
they didn't always believe in me because of my track record, what I used to do back in the day, the shit that I fucked up on, how I used to go through. Like, they didn't believe in me, but I did though. So even when I knew it was okay and it was gonna be okay, people on the outside looking in didn't know. So I'm like, I'm the one motherfucker that they can call and be like, man, Brad, listen, bro, I got this dream or I got this goal. Come home. Come home, we gonna work this motherfucker.
Right. Let's go.
Yeah, because your value is out here. It ain't in there.
Never will be either.
And it never will be.
That's a
your
fucking
value
dream
is
killer.
out here. It's a dream killer, man. Your value is out here. And when you are able to reach back to assist, to encourage, to uplift, and to bring to power the people that's in that motherfucker, that's where your value is, man. So
That's
I get
right.
calls and shit, phone calls, I get letters, I get all of this shit all the time. I done been to about 5, maybe 7 prisons since I've been home, man, visiting and speaking and stuff like that. Because I want motherfuckers to know, dog, like, my job is to make you remember the forgotten. And
I mean, just you speaking about it now, it's like, man, it just makes you think because, you know, like I said, I ain't do a lot of time, but it was traumatizing time. You know what I mean? So it's like,
it's all traumatizing.
and then I didn't have anybody here, should I say, any immediate family. Everybody was out of state.
Yeah.
So
That's
when I
even
did
worse.
it, that's what I'm saying.
That's
it sucks
even worse.
because,
Yeah, that's even worse.
like, shout out to my guy, Bad News Mom, bro. Like, that's my brother, bro. And
Yeah.
his mom came visited me because she know I ain't had nobody.
Yeah.
You know, she
That's
brought my
love,
girlfriend
dog.
one time.
That's love,
like,
man, for real.
You know, I was like, that's what's up. You know what I'm saying? She knew her parents didn't want her to come see me, and she still brought her through.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
And shout out to my cousin, baby mama.
That shit means a lot, man.
Yeah,
like,
you know,
it means a lot.
Like,
man,
fam, because
people know.
shit, you know what fucked me up is I learned a lesson in there that fucked me up one time with some visiting shit, and I was on like I said, community service, and then there was this nigga named Henry in there, bro, and he must have been a fucking jailbird. The nigga knew all the tricks and shit. You know what I'm saying? So he's like, bro, you could use the phone, you could call places, and then have them fax an appointment.
Yeah.
And you on community service, you basically on Huber.
Yeah.
So you can basically, if it's doctor related, they gotta let you go do it.
If it's
you know what I'm saying?
they got to.
You know what I mean? He was like, bro, check me out. He was like, I found a cryo lab.
Yeah.
But their name is
Really?
just something clinic. I swear to God, I was like, what? He was like, bro, we go, and it's like donate sperm and shit. I was like, what? He was like, fam, I swear to God, like the name is just clinic though, like, and they'll fax over the paper.
Dog, survival is a motherfucker.
Fam, and we did that shit.
Yeah,
he fucking set that shit up. We say we did it, you know what I'm saying, whatever. But you know, but the point was when I was walking out for that appointment, I seen this girl. I'm gonna just say her name. If you ever see this, I got much love for you. But her name Taryn.
Yeah.
And I remember she had stayed at my house, like one of the only people ever growing up remembering that was one of our friends. She was way older than me, but she needed a place to stay, and we let her stay. So I consider her family. Like, you family, you a friend. I ain't seen you in years. I've been down south. I've been back and forth.
Yeah.
And now I'm in here. But I seen you.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. What up? What's good? Like, man, oh, man. And it just felt so good, like, because I'm thinking in my mind, like, this is somebody I know that I got love for. This is finna be great. You know what I'm saying? Come see me. Like, shit. And unfortunately, I thought about help. Like, oh, she could probably help me out. You know what I mean? Like, and now that I look back at it, I ain't never wanted to be like that. And I try hard not to.
But it's rooted in survival, though.
Right. I gotta.
And, you know, in those types of situations.
You know what I'm saying?
So
But I remember I told her, and she was like, yeah. And she was seeing somebody in there. She had just came off the visit while we was heading out to the thing. And I was like, she was like, I just came see somebody in there. I'm like, well, you should come see me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
Never heard from her again.
Yeah.
Till like probably like 7 years later on Facebook or some shit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
bitch.
And you know what I mean? And,
Right,
and that
yeah, I
shit,
get it, yeah.
bro, that shit
does something
crushed
to you, man.
me, bro. I was
know.
like, and I didn't, you know, cause as much of in the streets as I've been and all that bullshit, that shit don't add up to me. What add up to me is motherfuckers who starve with me.
100%.
You know, I starved with niggas who wasn't my gang.
100%.
I starved with motherfucking people who had nothing to do with my culture and shit.
Yeah.
But I got love for you because we went through that. You know what I mean?
I just told KV, man, the other day. You know me and KV. Shout out to KV several levels, man. That's my homeboy. That's my brother for real. But you know me and KV talk all the time, and I told KV the other day that you know, like those predicaments, that predicament, prison, some type of struggle or whatnot. As men, we don't always verbalize and articulate how we feel, but there's a visual acknowledgement. We going through the same thing.
Yeah.
So I can look at you and you can look at me and we can see each other's pain. And we might separate. We may never say nothing out loud. We might separate for a time, cry, hurt, deal with what we need to deal with independently, and then come back. And that silence creates such a sound in our lives.
So loud, too.
It is so loud that we never really speak about it until we start to feel better again. Facts. And even that is dysfunctional. Because we should be able to say, heck, I'm hurting, man. Like, I'm fucked up, dog.
Like,
you know
that shit should be.
Yeah.
And I try to.
Yeah, and me too.
Know.
Now I do. You know, now I do. But going through it, thank you, Nia. I appreciate you. But going through it, I didn't really understand how important that was. But over time, I learned how important it is to talk about your shortcomings and your pain and your struggle, because somebody is definitely gonna identify with that, and it helps other people. Even when you just trying to work through some shit, they see it and they be like, oh yeah, well if he's striving and he can do it. Man, listen, I hosted 414 Spotlight last year 2 times, dog.
That's some
and
shit.
I can't tell you how many phone calls and inboxes and messages I got after that. Because I dedicated it to the guys and the women that's in prison.
Yeah.
Some of them coming home, some of them not. And my whole thing was, like I say, is to remember the forgotten. And I got so many messages, man, from people saying that, man, Brad, you give me hope. You did this and you did that, and that wasn't my intent. My intent was to say, hey, whatever you want to do,
You could do it.
you can do it, because I was just there not long ago. But it became something bigger than me, obviously, because that's typically what happens when you pursue a goal.
You did
or
a
a
you
dream.
did a substantial amount of time too, bro.
I know I did,
So
man.
like
Yeah,
the fact that you say that and you have that to tell motherfuckers with, like, hey, you could do it, bro.
Yeah,
And they're like, man, bro, it's not everything's that easy, you know.
Yeah,
But you
no,
like,
it's
bro, I
not.
did 17, bro.
I'm gonna tell you what it was. Heck, I felt like this. If I can do some bullshit, I can do something good. Because
Fact.
that's how we cut as people.
Yeah.
Like, everything is balanced. We just tend to, there's a fable from years ago that says you have two wolves inside of you, a negative wolf and a positive wolf, and whichever one you feed wins out.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So, and like, I fed the bullshit for a long
yeah.
time, and it felt good to some degree. It had become so easy to go to jail, like getting handcuffed. It's no different than doing something that for a long time that was difficult initially, but then becomes second nature.
No,
Like,
I
it got
feel
to
you.
the point I was like, man, fuck it, man, I'm gone. I mean, I'll see y'all next summer.
And that is what I'm glad I never got to.
That shit is wild.
And you know what's crazy? I think one of the main reasons I did that is because during my last, so I did the 8 months before I caught my sentence. It was like a month before that. I remember waking up and not thinking about being in jail till dinner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I went
That's
the
when you know you
whole
there.
Yeah, I went the whole day. I ate breakfast. Motherfuckers done played cards. I done took a shower. I done walked 1,000 laps around the fucking day room, and then we sit down for dinner. And dinner, I look at my fucking food and I'm like, nigga, I'm in jail. I am in jail right now.
Right. Now
What
imagine
the fuck?
Now imagine going years.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's
though.
mind blowing to me.
Imagine going years during breakfast and lunch with that mind state. And then you look up one day and be like, dog, I'm in jail like a motherfucker. I've been locked up
for a decade.
Since fucking Hey, I told KB today, right?
Whew. 10 or 12. Fuck.
Dorian, my brother, what's up, man? I told KV earlier, right? I said KV, so listen, my sense of humor, man, got me through a lot of that shit. Because a lot of people don't know.
Yeah, you had to just.
I'm silly as a motherfucker, like
Yeah.
on some real shit. But I choose to address serious topics because a lot of times somebody don't want to do it. So I'm gonna say something. But I remember when Obama got elected, right? And I remember feeling like just overwhelmed, like, dog, we got a black president.
And you was locked up on.
I was 08. I was locked up. I had been gone 4.5 years at the time. So,
Damn.
Marcelli at the time, he was like, man, he was like the least politically savvy motherfucker. He wasn't intellectual. He wasn't shit. He was my guy though, but he wasn't none of that shit. Like he was none of what people aspire to be internally.
Right.
He was a good person though. And then I remember laughing like, dog, you realize we got a black president?
A black
And
president.
then he was like, yeah. I said, bro, you know what that mean? He said, well, I said, man, we've been locked up a long ass time, though. We got a black president. We ain't never going home, right? He was like, but that shit ain't funny. I'm like, man, listen.
He said, fam, we just seen some turn of the century ass
then
shit.
Then it was 2 terms of this shit.
Two.
And we was gone for
The entire
for
time.
both terms. What the
Damn,
fuck?
so you missed the whole Obama shit.
The whole thing. I came home at 16. He had 3 months left in office.
I mean, you ain't really missed too much. But, that's
You
a
ain't
whole
gotta
nother
tell me.
podcast.
It is. It's a whole
podcast,
nother topic. But
yeah.
it was just a sign of the times, though. It was just like, oh shit.
No, I feel you. I was on the streets and I was in
Yeah.
Milwaukee. Oh wait, I just got out.
Yeah.
I ain't had shit, and I just remember seeing a bunch of other motherfuckers that I knew for a fact didn't have shit, and they was all geeked.
Yeah,
up.
because mind you, that was like it. That was at the height of Hurricane Katrina too.
Yeah, facts.
So the wave of people coming from Houston and New Orleans was in Milwaukee. That was between 05 and 08, 09.
Yeah, so when I got out of jail, that's when I moved here. So November, I got here a week before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
07.
Yeah.
and then 08 the whole year.
Then right before Pimp C died.
Type shit, right?
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
and
yeah.
you know
Right
what's funny
before
about that
Pimp C died.
Katrina
Yeah.
shit you said, though, before that, I was young. I was 15, 16,
Yeah.
jumping on a Greyhound from Augusta, Georgia. From Augusta, Georgia.
That's where my people at, too.
No bullshit. I was going to say, shout out
I got family
your
in
pops
Augusta.
was from there.
I got family in my dad
That's
from
crazy.
Augusta. My whole dad's side of my family is from Augusta. Our people they
That's
still
crazy.
there right now.
Dog, and
Augusta,
I
Stone
lived in
Mountain,
Augusta,
yeah.
Georgia. I went to high school in Augusta, Georgia. My first job ever was in Augusta, Georgia.
Really?
Papa
Yeah. Hot as
John's,
a
right on
motherfucker,
Walton
Augusta.
Way.
Yeah.
No bullshit. That shit crazy. Like, I went to the Richmond Academy of, is it Georgia? The Richmond? It was something like that. Richmond
Yeah.
Academy of Augusta or Georgia, something
Okay.
like that. But it's right on Walton Way, bro, in Augusta. And that was the first time I ever seen, it was almost a fully segregated lunch line.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah. That shit deep, ain't it, dog?
Yeah. It fucked me up.
To
Because,
make
you know,
you realize how far removed, I mean, how close we are to that being
yeah,
over.
it wasn't, you know, exactly.
Yeah,
And
it's not that far.
And it was, and I'm not going to say it was 100%, but it was like, you could tell,
Yeah.
like, dramatically. Like, it was maybe a couple white dudes in this line, maybe. But other than that, and then me, I walk in there, you know, I'm Puerto Rican and shit. And then, so back then, it was a thing for me.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I've been a nigga my whole life, bro.
Yeah, 100%.
But then I go to certain places,
Yeah.
and I go to Augusta,
Yeah.
and I get to rapping and trying to freestyle with motherfuckers and shit.
Yeah.
And the first nigga come out my, what?
Yeah,
What
yeah,
you
yeah.
on, bro? What I'm,
Fat Joe
Hold
dealing
on.
with Fat Joe just dealt with that. You see, we see with Fat Joe's man. Boy, listen, that's a whole different.
yeah, that's a whole different thing. But I'm just, but like, shout out to Augusta, fam. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that, like, I had many a time with that. But I
Toya
bought
went
that,
to Puerto Rico last year,
yeah, I seen that.
and man,
I know that shit was great, fam. I ain't been there since fucking a minute since 06, I think.
I'm gonna tell you something, dog. Like going to Puerto Rico, in all honesty, man, like it was eye opening, cause I'm a worldly person anyway, so I'm well aware of the plight that the world deals with, you know, these third world countries and other small islands and towns and shit like that, man. What up, my homie? But the energy of the people,
Yeah.
man, that shit is great, man. So I went to the place that they say don't go. I don't give a fuck about that shit, man. You gonna do something to me, whatever. I'm going.
No, all
You know
right.
what I'm saying? But I went to
You'll know where you can't go because it's only one way in, one way out.
man,
You gonna know
100%.
where not
yeah.
to go.
And that shit is reminiscent of here. I ain't fucking
Yeah.
around, you know what I'm saying? But
He said, I ain't
man,
fucking
for
around.
real though, because I mean that's just the street in me, you know what I'm saying?
No, facts.
So, but
No bull, low key places like that. To me, that's the shit that motherfuckers think they want to be in over here, but that's not.
no,
It's so
not.
serious
No,
that it's really
yeah.
like that, like movie shit. Like
Yeah,
motherfuckers be like that's what I feel like the American ghetto or just average motherfucker that be in the hood thinks that's what.
Man, listen.
You know, and it's like it's crazy how we are raised and conditioned to feel that way.
Yeah.
Like
Because it's
really-
relative, really.
No, it is. It's
relative,
rough.
definitely,
Don't get it
yeah.
wrong. We definitely struggled. You know, there's times a motherfucker couldn't eat what he wanted to eat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
But
looking
over
at my
there,
mom.
it's abject poverty. It's nothing.
Yeah,
like, it's a
exactly.
spot called Diana's Pizza over there, man, on Avenida Boulevard. Right, Avenida Drive. People be tripping because they be like, man, you remember them streets? Man, listen, when I was in Puerto Rico,
Facts. You
I was
remember all
in
the
Puerto
streets and
Rico.
shit.
Like, I'm dead. Like, I was there. Like, I was there for 8 days. I'm on some real shit.
Yeah, you was chilling,
But I
too.
immersed myself in the culture, though. You know what I'm saying?
No,
So,
right.
but it's a spot I went to called Diana's Pizza. And it's a mom and pop shop. One way in, one way out. Real dark, dimly lit pizza joint that make the best motherfucking food that you can think of, dog. And I was coming from, it's a grocery store called the Supermax, where I went to get some liquor. Me and my girl leaving the Supermax, I was like, I'm gonna stop right here, see what's up. It's dark. It's a
Right.
we pull over. It's a dark ass street. One light maybe. I'm like, man, fuck this shit. We go over there. And,
said, "Man, fuck
Cause
this."
I ain't care, but I'm like, whatever. Man, listen. So I went in there. Dog, some of the best people. The guy that owned the motherfucker had just came back. He said he just moved back from, I want to say, the Bronx or Brooklyn. He had been living in Brooklyn or New York somewhere for the past 8 or 9 years. So he came back to Puerto Rico because he's Puerto Rican.
And that's
He came back
crazy,
from
bro,
Puerto Rico.
because to go from that to that,
Yeah.
it's a big difference.
He
bro.
came back from New York and went to Puerto Rico. We chopped it up, man, for a long ass time. We went to Diana's Pizza probably about 3 or 4 times.
The whole time you was there?
We was there.
Going crazy.
Because it was love. I'm like, man, like during the day, during the night, it was love, dog. And I was like, well, damn. people smell fear like animals do. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
facts.
So I ain't just gonna insert myself in a dangerous situation, but at the same time,
Yeah.
like I went looking for the liquor store after the Supermax closed, the grocery store.
Yeah.
Found a little way. I'm talking about a small ass liquor store. Walked in that motherfucking top of there. There wasn't nobody in there. It was dark. Like on the outside looking in, you would be like, I'm not fucking.
I'm not going with that one.
Me? Come on, man. I'm going.
You like, come on.
Like fuck it.
See, but
You know
and
what
then
I'm saying?
that's the thing about being around yo people, bro. Like when you
That's
around
what it was,
when you be
dog.
around people that's yo people,
Yeah.
you just feel it. Like I always feel better. Like I said, I moved out here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And at first I was like, damn, I gotta move away from my people to come fuck with these people.
Mm-hmm.
And these people don't know shit about how we do. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So then when I got here and I realized, oh no, it's shit, there's a bunch of my people over here.
definitely.
I feel so much more
Yeah.
liberated, bro. I feel so
Yeah.
because now
What up,
I can
Ted?
move how I want to move and not have to worry about you thinking, you know, because
Yeah.
I'm different.
Yeah.
That is some criminal shit going down or
Yeah.
just anything like that. Most importantly, I don't want you to think I'm on no criminal.
Yeah, because a lot of that shit come from entertainment.
Yeah, it's what you see.
Yeah, it's
That's-
what you,
that's-
and
that's
we
why
draw
people
conclusions
don't-
off of what we see.
And that's why I tell people a lot about, you know, the visual conditioning. You know what I mean? That's why representation is so important. You know, and I remember I was just having a conversation with Kenzie yesterday, and I told him, I was like, bro, it's really important that motherfuckers don't stick to the box that we're assigned, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because that's all it is.
Yeah.
Our representation is assigned.
Yeah, that's
you
definitely
know?
what it is. Yeah.
Like, so it's like, bro, we have to make sure it's represented the best way, because a lot of the greatest people I ever met in my life are Black and Latino people, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, it's almost like, but nah, that's just an exception. The rule is y'all motherfuckers ain't shit. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Just a couple of y'all. You know what I
That's
mean?
the conditioning, man, that they beat into you in the American public school system.
So
and they would have
insanely.
you believe that. I had a debate with a guy, man. And he was my friend at the time too. I don't know him no more, obviously, because it's been years. But J.A. Rogers wrote a book called Africa's Gift to America, right? And in that book, at the time we was in Oshkosh, in that book there was a picture in an article, like not an article because it was an actual book about a story, about a 3 or 4 page story about a guy named Chief Oshkosh who was 50% Black and 50% Native American.
Right.
And the guy I was talking to was Native American. He swore up and down that no way that Oshkosh was Black. I said, man, look around, man. Like let's just look around and just see things for what they are and not what we want them to be.
Right. What we really
Like,
want them to be.
Yes, like disregard all of the whitewashing, disregard all of the indoctrination, the manipulation, the psychological manipulation, and like all of that. Like let go of all of that shit and think for yourself for a second, right?
Yeah.
There's books and books and books written about the same thing. And true enough, it all could be a lie. But the reality of it, it gives a thought-provoking commentary. And it gives you something else to think about other than what's been taught to you, partially, in the American public school system.
Partially as
You know what I'm
fuck.
saying? And Dog was like, man, Brad, you on some bullshit. I said, no, I'm not. I'm telling you that what I researched may likely be true. And it turns out, yeah, you know, it came out that, you know, I mean, if you look at this whole fucking country, man,
No, yeah, it's just like that.
like,
Bro, in Dominican Republic, they purposely built the statues of all their heroes and shit.
Yeah.
And they made them look white.
Yeah.
You know, but then if you look at the picture of who the actual person was, the features was,
you're like, how the fuck did this
There's
statue,
no way.
how was this person right here?
yeah, there's no fucking way, you know what I'm saying? But they always, you know, but that goes super deep, the whole.
Yeah.
So,
It
but-
go way deep.
but
But
I-
Dog was
the
just
question
like,
I
man,
have
Brad, I don't
about
wanna hear
that-
what you say though. Fuck, he told me to shut the fuck up. I said, all right. Well,
Nah, yeah, no, you know,
Yeah.
you can't teach a motherfucker that don't want to learn something. But that goes to my question though, like, how do you think that contributed to your circumstances and ending up in prison, bro?
Well, I'm gonna tell you what exactly led me to prison. So, you know, we came to Milwaukee in 87, 88. We moved from Anchorage, Alaska.
Which is fucking crazy, by the way.
Yeah. And my dad was in the Army.
No,
for
right.
10
That's
years.
fucking crazy.
You know what I'm saying? He was in the
He's
Army.
in Anchorage, Alaska.
Yeah,
when I read the book and he was like, I want to go back to Alaska.
Yeah,
I was like, that's
did, bro. I was
crazy.
like, because I didn't like it here because it was unfamiliar.
Yeah, it's
Not
unfamiliar.
because I had like a reason to dislike it.
No, right.
So I was, I'm a child of divorce. Unfortunately, sadly, like the average black kid is. The black Latino kid in America is a child of divorce or just from a single parent household.
Right.
So my dad and my mom got divorced in 91. It was final in 92. And my dad was my hero, like in all honesty.
Right.
He was the only man, y'all check this out, man, Leroy Jordan Jr., the only man in 1980 Korea to win a gold medal in Taekwondo.
What?
You know what I'm saying?
That's your pops?
Yeah, my dad, man, my biological dad. He lost to Mark Breland, who threw the towel in for Deontay Wilder when he lost to Tyson Fury in the second fight.
Dang.
He lost to Mark Breland in the '84 Olympic trials. This dude is like he third degree black belt, Golden Gloves. He was a guy, man, that I would have loved to have known as an adult then. But I was fortunate enough to have him as my father. You know,
Right.
He's still living too. I talked to him today. But
that was my next question.
that's my homie, man. Yeah, that's my guy. Like,
Yeah.
that motherfucker crazy. I promise you he is. But they got divorced because of the crack era. The crack era transpired and he wound up getting hooked on cocaine and, shit went haywire and it led to him being divorced from my mama. And all I really wanted was what my brother experienced. My brother is 6 years older than me. So my brother experienced the good parts of the marriage.
The family dynamic. Yeah,
I don't have a recollection of that
he was too young.
because I was so young.
Yeah.
I just knew I wanted
That's crazy.
that. And then when they got divorced, I was like, well, shit, I didn't really know how to feel. Even though I had a great stepfather, man, shout out to my stepdad. My stepfather named Carlton Winfrey, man, probably one of the best people I've ever met.
So, but
Who raised me.
I was just about to say it when that happened with your father, he moved out.
Yeah.
So he
Yeah.
separated
Which led me to Brown Street.
because your mom moved
Because
with your
my
step
mom
pops
was living by ourselves and my stepdad wound up moving in.
type shit.
So
that's
23rd and Brown became home because
And
my
that's where you
dad
was
was
at.
down there. My grandfather was down there. My grandmother was down there. My dad's side of the family was there. So I'm like, I want to have a
So your
relationship
dad's
with my
side of the
dad.
family was there though.
Yeah. I spent the amount of time with my dad while he was going through his addiction that nobody spent with him.
Dang.
You know what I'm saying? And mind you, I'm 11, 12, 13, 14, and I'm seeing all of the struggles. I'm seeing everything, but there's no judgment involved because this is my father.
Right.
So I didn't like my stepdad at the time. Not because I had a legitimate reason to, but he just wasn't
you
my
was just
dad.
like, you not my pops. You ain't team us. Nigga.
That's how I
Like,
felt.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
I get it.
So I rebelled against my mom because my mama was like, she always had some negative shit, some negative shit to say about my dad. Because
She was probably torn, bro. She was probably
yeah,
mad as fuck.
Yeah, it was. Like as an adult, I get it because
Yeah, you don't see
she
it as
was
a child, but-
disappointed. She was
Yeah.
hurt. She was angry, frustrated.
Let down. Yeah, you just like
Now listen, my dad being the master manipulator that he is, he never said nothing negative about my mama. So to an 11 or 12-year-old, all you know is what you see.
right.
Mama, you saying my dad ain't shit, et cetera, et cetera. He always say, anytime I'm over there with them, he always say, man, I love you. Tell your mama I said, hey, whatever.
But he
And I'm
cool. He
like,
cool with you, and you over here bashing him.
yeah. So I'm going home to tell my mama, hey, Mom, my dad said, hey, he love you. She like, well, fuck your daddy. He ain't shit.
Damn.
And I'm like, well, damn.
Damn.
So it caused the anger in me that wasn't founded against her because of what they was going through. See, he
So-
was doing shit behind the scenes that I didn't see.
So your brother, just for the record, that's same pops and
Yeah,
So
man,
it's- y'all had
that's
that
my
whole.
dude, man. Shout out to my brother Money. Yeah, same
That's
brother,
what's up.
same mom. Yeah, I mean, same dad, same mom. Yeah. But he was in Job Corps at the time, so it was just
when
me.
that happened,
It's just
yeah.
me.
Oh,
and him.
your brother, you're saying?
Yeah, he was in Job Corps in Kentucky, South Carolina at the time.
When you caught your case, you saying?
No, he came back. He got married.
Okay.
So during like 11, 12, 13, 14, my brother was in Job Corps. He was in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, or South Carolina.
He was moving, working.
Yeah. So it was just me. It was just me and my mama, which created a bond between me and her that's so strong that we didn't even get along in the future because we became so much alike to some degree.
Type shit.
You know what I'm saying? That type of shit. So then my mama not wanting to cause a rift between me and my dad, she let me go down there in the ghetto all the time on Brown, which ultimately led to me catching this case in '97. So she blamed herself to some degree, and I'm like, "Ma, it wasn't you."
No, it was just it sounded like it was just a mixture of everything going down.
That's all it was. It was the '90s for one. Let's just start right there.
Yeah, right.
It was the '90s for one, right? You know what I'm saying? Like it's the '90s. So for a motherfucker, like gang culture was at its all-time high. It's the '90s. Like you couldn't go to certain neighborhoods. You couldn't wear certain shit, certain hats, certain. You know what I'm saying?
No,
like
right.
all of that shit.
So was it like? I'm trying to think of the question properly, you know, because my dumb ass got chopped in rotation, fam. We in here.
We in rotation,
but
yeah.
I'm trying to word it right. You know what I'm saying? I'm like that. So you was angry, right? So, and then this didn't help at all. It just fed the anger. Really, you was
That's
just
all
ready
it
to.
did.
You was ready to just and then the culture pushes towards letting that out however the fuck you can. You know what I mean?
Now add all of that with being a teenager.
You're a teenager. You think you the shit. You think you know what the fuck you doing.
And it's like, what the fuck, man? You know what I'm saying?
And then your mama letting you go over there.
Yeah.
So you like, shit.
We getting high.
Fuck this.
We riding around with guns and shit. We doing all of this
Because I didn't
shit.
know that. Until I read the book, I was like, damn. Like I knew you was, locked up and shit, but I didn't know that was what started the snowball effect on how, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was like, damn. Because that shit, it's crazy because I grew up like that, bro. When I grew up, church. My mom was always in church.
Yeah.
My big brother was the one who lived y'all era, the 90s. You know what I mean? I was a kid. I was super smart. I was in like higher education classes and shit.
Which is cool, by the way.
Which is the
what
shit.
He's saying is cool.
You know what I'm saying?
It's cool to be smart. It's cool to be intelligent. It's cool to be in school. It's cool to be at the top of your class. It's cool. And all
Big
of that
fact.
shit is cool.
Let's
get that out the way.
But we was in the 90s. So
in the 90s.
that was like,
So what was cooler in the 90s was some street shit.
Yeah,
like
you got to be on some thug shit. You got to be, and I never was on that type of time, bro. When I was a child, I was always trying to, and it still reflects to this day. But obviously now, through my trials and tribulations, I'm a little more hardened and shit. But
for sure.
I'm still cool. I don't like that shit, bro.
That's the balance, though.
No, exactly.
Which
That's
is the
balance.
good thing because you can have one without the other, but on the spectrum of a balanced character and a human being,
you need that. Yeah,
you kind of need
you need
a little bit of both.
You know who Jordan Peterson is?
Yeah, I know Jordan Peterson.
Super, he got super famous recently and
KB,
shit.
listen, KB don't like Jordan Peterson.
He's like, fuck Jordan. No, but
I definitely know Jordan Peterson.
When I listen to him and he has his points, you know what I mean? Like, there's not everything I follow about him, but he has this point where he's like,
though, right?
He has this thing where he's like, his philosophy on how being a man is fulfilling when you do it the way, you would think. Like, to be a fucking man, you got to be a dangerous person,
right?
But you got to be in control of that.
Yeah.
You got to be dangerous because it's good to be dangerous. You know what I'm saying? And when he pushes that, I'm like, that's a philosophy that I stick to now because I've survived that. I experienced that.
Yeah.
I grew up in Kansas, bro.
Okay.
I learned how to speak English in Kansas.
Yeah.
Junction City, Kansas, little ass town. Ghetto was a motherfucker.
Yeah.
All kind of gang banging. All kind of all that shit. It's the 90s. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's little. It's not a big, you know what I mean?
For sure.
But there's, I grew up around black people. I grew up around white people. I grew up around Mexican people, Puerto Rican, plenty Puerto Rican people because of the army base.
Yeah.
But like I said, I grew up in church.
For sure.
Smart classes in school, church. Pops was an alcoholic ass nigga. He always fucked up. Church.
Yeah, it is
church. Church.
Sure,
And then and then my big bro the whole time getting treated.
Yeah.
Me and my pops, I love him to death, but we got a disconnect because of that. because I've seen you mistreat my brother, nigga.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
You know,
For sure.
so it's like now as an adult, we don't even talk about it.
Yeah.
It never has been talked about.
Yeah.
But, you know, I noticed that's how my pops is, whatever. So me being a man, I'm like, whatever, we gonna build on what we got.
Yeah.
And that's what we gonna make,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
Maybe one day we'll talk about it, maybe not.
Yeah.
But going through that, it fucked me up because they made me take a test, fam. At school one time. Here, take this test. I didn't even know. I'm thinking I'm finna ace the test because I ace all my tests.
Yeah.
It's a fucking norm in my life. Come on. So we do it. We come back. The next day they call my parents in there. I'm in there chilling. I'm like, oh, they about to tell us some good shit. We got a good test and shit.
Yeah.
The test come back. She's like, he's doing good, everything, you know, but if you look right here, he's declining like rapidly and shit. And my parents was looking and, you know, they Spanish speaking and shit. So they're getting it, but you know, they're still trying to understand exactly what they're saying.
For sure, completely.
Bro, the lady pull out a picture. She's like, you see this picture he drew? Swear to God. I was like, what the fuck? I didn't even remember drawing the picture. You know, I'm thinking that was probably some quick shit I just drew up to get the test over with. She was like,
right.
If you look, it's the mom, the brother, the sister, and Hector's right here.
Right.
And then the dad's on the other side of the house. Just like that, she said it. I was like, what the fuck? You know, and then when she said it, and when it clicked to me, I looked at my pops like, I was scared, nigga. I was like, oh, like I felt like I was snitching this shit, nigga. Like,
well, you was just in the other room, but that's why I put you.
My pops was like, my dad looked at me crazy, and I remember I'm like, oh, this bitch done got me fucked up.
Yeah.
Now I'm fucked. I wasn't even thinking about the impact of what she was saying. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking she just fucked me up. I'm finna get whooped when I get home because I'm talking to teachers and shit. You know what I mean? Like, I look back at that shit, bro, and I'm like, bro, that's crazy how that, like, was the kickstart to me being like, fuck, something's wrong. You know what I'm saying? And that's when they were saying something's wrong at the house. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My pops, that shit ain't cool. This shit happened one more time, and then that's when we moved to Wisconsin.
Yeah.
So then when I came to Wisconsin, I became who I was. You know what I mean? Like, nah, it's just me. My brother stayed in Kansas. It's crazy because he stayed in Kansas with my dad. They've been beefing my whole life. Then the nigga stayed there. He was like, hey, when y'all left, that was the best time we ever had. I'm like, what the fuck? He's like, he never fucked with me when y'all left. He only fucked with me when...
Wild as a motherfucker.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's just like, it's crazy to think that all that adds up and brings you to that. You know what I'm saying? Because when I got to the 2000s, that's when 50 came out. That's my era. 50 Cent was like my breakout. That's, you know, my first, the first album I ever had was my mom bought me Country Grammar, and it was fucking censored from Walmart and shit. Yeah. But she brought me a Walkman.
I bought one on accident from Target.
On what? Like a censored one?
It was a snippet version. I said, why these songs going off so motherfucking fast? Yeah.
What the fuck is that?
Right? It was like, it was the whole album, but it was just snippets of every song. And I'm in the room like, what the fuck is wrong with this album? Like, what's wrong with this CD? Why this shit going off so fast? Like, what the fuck is
I ain't never even heard of that shit.
Hear that bullshit, man. They used to sell like the whole CD, but it'd be like a minute of every song.
Get the fuck for what,
Dead
bro?
Serious. Look, that's
and it was cheaper?
It was cheaper,
Yeah, it was like $5 to the 10.
Or they would sell a maxi single. A maxi single would be like the single that was popping at the time or being pushed at the time.
Yeah.
And then either a remix of it or some song that we never heard before. It was always a new
I remember
song.
those.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I remember those. It's like 4 records.
Yeah.
It's the song, the instrumental, remix,
shit like
and
that.
then some other shit.
Exactly. Yeah. And but I just knew I had the actual album version, and it was snippets. I said, what the fuck is this though?
That's crazy, bro.
I'm in the room like, why these songs and shit? I'm in there high as a motherfucker. Like, why these songs and shit going off so fast?
No, I remember when you notice shit like that, you like, what the fuck? Because I remember when Country Grammar, I had it, I popped it in. I didn't even look at the fucking case, bro. That shit came on and said, hot dot, not.
That album was dope, by the way.
What the fuck? He ain't say hot shit. You know, hot shit on the shit. That shit was like, hot. I was like, what the fuck? And then I went to the other song. I'm like, hell no. What the fuck? I was mad as hell. No bullshit. But Country Grammar was a classic album, though.
Definitely was.
Big shout out. But you know, but it was that, and then instantly 50 fucking took over the world, bro. You know, we had Eminem, obviously. Eminem is like, you know, as a rapper.
Fifth gave a motherfucker something in 2003, man.
That just changed the fuck. I don't know why. I don't know why, but
I think it was It was the build up of it. Because a lot of motherfuckers I heard about The Power of a Dollar and 50 Cent's The Future, et cetera, et cetera.
See, now, check me out. I did it.
Yeah, so look.
I'm in the country.
But that's part of the reason it was so much fanfare surrounding it, because it was like Fifth had gotten to the brink of stardom. Then Columbia dropped it. Got to the brink of stardom, and then Interscope wouldn't sign him. And then he got to the brink of stardom, and then M heard him. And then M left a message on Dr. Dre's voicemail like, man, this motherfucker 50 is the dopest motherfucker you done heard, whatever. And then 03 came around, and Wankster was the one that was on. I think Wankster was on either 50 Cent's The Future or the 8 Mile soundtrack.
It was on the soundtrack. It was on the soundtrack.
Was 8 Mile soundtrack?
But I don't think that's what. I can't remember if that's what boosted Wankster, but it was on the 8 Mile soundtrack.
What is Places to Go on? I got Places to Go.
Got
people to see. The penitentiary. That's on 8 Mile too. But that shit built the momentum and the anticipation.
Yeah, see, I wasn't hip to that.
Mind you, I'm in a joint though. Like I was locked up at the time.
Oh shit, you were?
Yeah, I was gone. That was 2002, and I'm like, who was this motherfucker 50 Cent at the time? Trick Daddy was real hot. That Thug Holiday was real big. Thug Holiday and R. Kelly, but not R. Kelly music though. R. Kelly the Case overshadowed Best of Both Worlds.
Yeah, because I remember 50 saying that shit on the 8 Mile shit.
Yeah.
He said niggas popping popcorn, rewinding the tape.
Yeah.
I shot him down at the precinct, hollering rape. You know what I'm saying?
And when Get Rich or Die Trying came out though, I was 20, I think, 21 or somewhere around there, and I was like, yo, this motherfucker is dope. I heard Many Men. And I said, what the fuck, man? Like,
yeah, Many Men was the one.
Like, that shit represented something for me that was missing in hip-hop.
See, now check me out. You see how the difference is?
Yeah.
You was 20,
yeah.
So that was 15.
Yeah.
Listen to the difference. You said that shit like resonant. You know what that shit meant to me?
What?
I gotta have somebody that wants to kill me, or I gotta kill somebody. That was literally my mindset.
Yeah, because as a 15-year-old, you still, and I'm speaking about, I'm speaking from my perspective at 15 too. At 15, you in the stage of trying to figure out where you want to go in life, what you want to do, who you want to be. What you want to represent?
I was just about to say who you represent.
Yeah, all of that shit.
Who are you?
And a lot of times people don't figure that shit out until later in life. But Get Rich or Die Trying, man, like that shit meant that
shit is super classic.
Yeah, it is. But it also meant for me that I can be me without trying to conform.
That's crazy that you got that out. Like, bro, I'm telling you.
Like, for real, because he
crazy.
Never shied away from getting shot 9 times.
Nothing. He went straight to it.
Like, it just meant that, motherfucker, I'm going to get rich or die trying.
Oh, man.
And have you any idea how much that sentiment means to the ghetto?
No,
of
exactly.
course you know. I'm just saying, like, rhetorically.
I know.
Yeah,
no,
like,
I feel you.
Man, like, that shit means the motherfuckers be on the same corner for 10 or 15 years and never make it past that corner, but say, I'm going to get rich or die trying.
And die there.
Dog.
You die right there where the fuck you been at
they
forever.
Don't get rich. They die trying. You know what I'm saying? So there. I watched that shit happen to a lot of people I know. They died trying because they didn't understand the importance of the diversity and the hustle or the grind.
That's deep, bro. I'm telling you. It's crazy because if you was to have the same conversation with me and I was 15 years old, I'll be like, nah, bro, you trying to make something that is not. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's.
I'm gonna tell you why though.
We really bout that shit. Like,
because what you didn't see is the same thing I didn't see at 15. What you didn't see is what I didn't see is I didn't see the cool element in not being that way.
Exactly. And that's, bro, I'm so glad you brought that up. I tell people that all the time. Could you imagine if we all had parents
Yeah.
and people, uncles and aunties and
Yeah.
shit that was all
Yeah.
on point. That literally
Yeah,
was
you're
on
right
point.
there.
Not just had money, came through, looked good and dressed nice and shit.
Yeah.
I'm talking about we doing good, fam. I could teach you how to do this.
Yeah.
Like everything I'm a part
Yeah.
of, I can add you to and make you valuable too. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And it's like people like, nah, bro. Because if you think about it, bro, I followed a lot of fucking bums in my life.
Me too.
Like niggas that ain't had shit.
Oh,
You
let
didn't
me tell
have
you something.
nothing.
Go
You
ahead.
you was grown, and we could smoke in your house and shit, and we could eat up all the food because you not
Yeah.
paying for shit in this motherfucker. But you ain't had shit, nigga.
Yeah.
Like you never had the ambition to get more either. You was
Yeah.
just this is what. And when I look back, I'm like, bro, the goal was so low.
I
The
can't
fucking
tell
goal
you-
was so low.
Dog, let me tell you something. It's a quote. There's a quote that I read years ago, and I forget who it's by, but it said, "The problem isn't that you set the goal too high and you miss it, or you set the mark too high and you miss it. It's that you set the mark too low and you hit it."
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a false accomplishment.
Yeah,
almost.
I can't tell you how many people that I admired, looked up to, wanted to emulate when I was a younger guy, 16, 17, that when I grew up, 25, 30, 35, that I realized wasn't worthy of my admiration, wasn't worthy of my respect, wasn't worthy of my emulation, they wasn't worthy. So now I see them, like as I'm 41, you know,
Yeah.
like now I see him and I be like, I looked up to you at one point in time. Now they older than me still, drawing inspiration from me, looking at me.
Yeah.
Because they couldn't get over the hump of letting go who they used to be in order to embrace who they will become.
Exactly.
They couldn't get over that
They
shit.
could have. It's so, and it's hard to think about knowing like how to process that.
Yeah.
Like I hear what you just said. I'm processing it. I understand it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I also understand how to possibly change certain things to get to that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I know what would have to be done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's crazy to sit there and think that some people don't know that. You know what I mean?
They
Like,
don't know how to put it into practice.
They just can't.
It's the
And then
same
you
shit, yeah.
so like a teenagers, let's say.
Yeah.
You know what
That's
I mean?
pretty much what it is.
Yeah, exactly. Like you don't fucking understand what the fuck is going on. You know what I mean? And then I was talking to Mike Croft. He did the first episode, and I
Yeah.
said something in that podcast where I said, "Bro, it really irritates me when they make it seem like that's not real. Like it's not a like there's no way that we did all this and it made y'all like that. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
And like
yeah,
that's the tone
It's a
they say it
lie.
in too. It's like you just use it. You just are making that up so that you could
That's a
be
lie.
you could justify you being ain't shit motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
and I'm like,
yeah.
nah, bro. Like, think about what we just said. Some people can't get over that hump, bro. Think about how easy
Yeah.
it is to control that shit when you in power for so long, fam.
I just told KV on my way here. Matter of fact, I was just talking to V, and I was like, "Dog, I never wanted to be." I remember being a kid and going by my friend's house or my cousin's house or whatever the fuck I was going, but I remember seeing the guy that the woman was dealing with. You know what I'm saying? I remember
Yeah.
seeing the guy, whoever the fuck it was, and him not having a job. It didn't resonate with me that he didn't have a job at the time. He was just always there.
It's always there.
You know, he was never.
He
he was
said it didn't-
yeah. He was never at work when my mama was at work.
Right.
I ain't know about second shift. To be real with you, I just knew that my mama be at work when I be at school, and then when I get home, it's about an hour or two difference.
When she come home.
Yeah, when she come home, this nigga was always at home.
Just
Whoever
always.
he was, at my auntie house, at my friend house, he was always there, and he didn't have that sense of. He didn't possess the sense of desire to instill discipline in us as kids.
Right.
It didn't matter what the fuck we did. We can go to eat all the fruit snacks, eat all the cereal, eat all the whatever the fuck at that 5 o'clock in the evening. He didn't care. As long as we ain't fuck with him in the living room. You You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy, bro. Because I'm a stepfather, bro, to plenty kids. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I love a lot of kids, and I do not fuck around, bro.
Yeah,
I'm putting all the time
and that's
in.
how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, fuck that.
And I told KV on my way here, I said, bro, I refused. I didn't know it at the time, and I couldn't really articulate that, but I knew I was not gonna be this motherfucker right here.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah.
I'm not gonna be this dude.
Facts.
And
Facts.
I'm like, I can't do it. So like I refuse to be just the man, because for me, in my mind, a man, like I say, the guys I looked up to, my uncle Terry, my uncle Troy, my other uncles, a lot of the guys throughout my neighborhood was doing shit. Some of them wasn't doing shit worth emulating, but they was doing shit more than what dude was doing on the living room couch.
Exactly.
By my friend mama house. You know what I'm saying?
Because if you look at a motherfucker that's not doing shit, and then you see a motherfucker who's bagging up work and shit, but he doing it though.
Yeah.
He actually, he out here moving and grooving. And then you look at their lifestyle, you like, hey, that I kind of want to be.
Yeah, that's something. It ain't nothing positive to aspire. Let me just keep it 100 with you.
Right.
It ain't nothing positive to aspire to, but it's something more to aspire to than the motherfucker who ain't doing nothing at all.
Exactly. It's the better of two evils.
It's the better of two evils. Yeah, and it's just like, hey, man, I would rather be the person that's risking whatever danger or element of danger that comes with this street shit, as opposed to just being in a house. Listen, man, my grandmama, my mother, rest in peace to her, she been gone for 20-something years. But she said, not even to me, but to somebody one day on the phone, I just happened to overhear. She said, man, you can't live off of a woman and on top of her at the same time. Now, I'm 12. And I heard her say this. I said, damn. Later on, 15, 20 years later, I was like, damn, that shit makes sense. Because at some point, man, somebody is going to get tired of support. Somebody going to get tired of supporting you. Life is about a service.
You got to pull your weight, yeah.
Yeah, it's about a service, right? You provide a quality service, and people pay you for it, whether it's through time,
no matter
or whether
what
it's
it is,
through money.
it's quality service.
Yeah, a quality
pay.
service is going to get exchanged with pay.
Yeah.
And people are okay with paying for that service as long as it's of quality.
If it's exceptional service, then it'll be...
Right, you good. Or I want my fucking money back because
exactly.
This
is some bullshit. Now I don't want this.
Yeah. So
that makes sense.
I realized, man, like even with the music shit, I couldn't just say some shit just because. Right. I couldn't bring myself to say something that didn't make sense to me just because it made sense to them. Because ultimately, the people who believe in me or look up to me or look forward to me doing something that's going to resonate with them, I'm going to be doing them a disservice.
Facts. And then I try like I get the, why you always got the message?
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, because I have to. Like, I feel like I'm not doing my job if I don't got the message.
Yeah.
I don't care how trap it is, how nigga, it could be some straight. Like that's like E40. E40 always got that Bay Area about to his shit. But if you listen to fam, he telling you the game.
It's funny you said Bay Area too, because I woke up this morning, right, and for some reason I woke up with the Loonies on my mind, right?
The Loonies, motherfuckers don't even know who the Loonies are.
I jumped in the car and I played the album Operation Stackola, and I'm listening to this shit. I was 13 when this shit came out, maybe 12, I don't know.
Man.
But I was listening to this, I'm like, damn, dog, like this shit is different even now. But the Bay Area is one of them places that influence the country.
Yeah, like
you know what I'm saying? Like they influenced the country.
They made a whole sound, no bullshit.
A whole entire sound that motherfuckers follow even when they don't realize they following.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So shout out to the Bay Area, man, for real.
Big
I
shout
fuck
out.
with Mozzie a whole lot, man. Shout out to Mozzie, man.
Yeah,
like,
Mozzie be on that shit.
But yeah, man. So I just always felt like if I have your attention, I gotta give you something that's gonna allow you to walk away from me and say, okay, he said that. We'll give you something to think about. You know what I'm saying? And for me, man, that's what it's always been. That's what the facts of life represent. 1 and 2. There's a third one coming out too. My next music project is called The Affirmation. But the facts of life.
So you about to you going affirmation and then facts of life 3?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The
Put
affirmation.
that work in.
The affirmation is like is pretty much. See, I talk about a lot of shit, right? So, it's kind of like hearing somebody speak about something and then watching the documentary. You be like, oh, that motherfucker really did.
Yeah, that's
like that shit is for real. So, the affirmation is pretty much some of the people who went through a lot of this shit with me talking about, like, dog, we went this, like, I watched this motherfucker do what he did, go to jail, come back. Because I'm going to tell you, like one of the biggest things for me, man, is people, when I came back, people was looking at me, I guess, searching for signs of physical change. Like, this motherfucker, I don't know if he don't look like he don't look as if what he been through, what he went through.
No, exactly.
It's like, I don't know.
You're doing good now, so.
Yeah, so it's like, man, but what they didn't see was the struggles in themselves and in all of that shit.
Yeah.
So I got a lot of the guys, man, that went through that shit with me, giving testimonials about what we seen and what we went through.
So that shit finna be flame.
Yeah, it's gonna be it's
I'm
gonna
already
be nice
knowing.
as a motherfucker, man. Yeah, it's gonna be real nice, man.
No bullshit, man. Look, shout out your book, man, because I read that thing twice. Well, I got to page 70 before the second time.
Yeah.
But I love the way you laid it out. I love the way you fucking the way you tell your story, and it's amazing how you remember everything you read and everybody.
Yeah, man.
Everybody you looked up to.
Hey, you know what's crazy, right? Is people. That shit is scary to some people.
To me, I wouldn't say scary, but it's like, holy shit. I think about it because I've always thought of myself to be, a pretty at the very least, above average, like my thought processing and shit. I consider myself to be pretty straight, but I see it wore off a lot because I've been smoking and drinking and not giving a fuck about shit.
Yeah, because it's a muscle.
Exactly, and I ain't been working it out in a minute.
Sure.
Like I said, your book, and there's another book that's called "The War Against All Puerto Ricans."
Yeah,
and that's the only 2 books I've read in fucking since school, bro. You know what I mean?
I say it's scary because I've bumped into people who I haven't seen in years who didn't remember me.
That's crazy.
But I remember them.
Yeah, I remember a face.
And I remember, like, dog, I remember this, that. It was 94. It was whatever. And motherfuckers be like,
yeah.
And they know I ain't lying because once I say some shit, they be like, damn, I did do that. Like, bro, but wait a minute, where you? Like, bro, but how did you? Yeah.
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah, so, but no, man, the book is Courage Under Fire. And I named it Courage Under Fire because, for one, Courage Under Fire is one of my favorite movies, like, first and foremost. Secondly, but the idiom Courage Under Fire pretty much means remaining steadfast in the strength that you have internally while you're going through a hard situation. And sometimes we wind up realizing how strong we are before we even realize the strength that we possess. So sometimes the situation presents itself before the realization of how strong we are presents itself. And the subtitle is Nothing Changes Unless You Change, which is ultimately just it's pretty self-explanatory. Like, man, you can't change nothing unless you change. They say it's cliche, but the idiom goes, if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change.
That's
and
facts.
that's just pretty much what it is. So I can say, oh man, she hurt me, or she did this, she did that. Or how about you say, I gave her enough ammunition to shoot me down with. Or dude told on me. How about I gave him something to tell on? Something like that. Like,
I gave him the
opportunity.
To get me. You know what I mean? Like, so no, I 100% agree, and that's one of my biggest things. That because I feel like being from the hood and shit. Everywhere I ever lived, I lived in the ghetto. You know what I mean? So it's like, bro, we're so stuck on like just just get what you can, and just when you get it, you could just stay there.
Yeah, I ain't know what that complacency.
You know what
shit.
I mean? Do you feel what I'm saying though?
I ain't none
But
of
that complacency, bro, that shit is
it's rampant.
a terror, bro.
It is. It's rampant.
And then me, like, I don't remember when I didn't eat.
Yeah.
Like, and I wish I did, bro.
Yeah,
You know, I'm being 100% open right now.
Yeah.
I wish I did, but I don't. Bro, I did the fucking weak ass 9 to 5. Let's do what we got to do, and I've been doing that for a minute. And then what I have off of it, and the shit I got in place, is valid. But I know there's so much after that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I've always been like, yeah, bro, I've been the same nigga since I was, you hear that shit all the time, nigga. I've been the same nigga since elementary.
Yeah.
And you like, that's cool, but it's hard to break off of that, fam. Like, you know what I mean?
You know what? I had somebody tell me, in recent years, oh, you act different. And I said, thanks.
For real. What the
I
fuck?
appreciate you. Because if you telling me I'm acting different at 40 from 25,
Yeah, I should be.
that's a compliment. But if you say, dog, you the same guy, you the same, I fucked up somewhere. Because there's no way that you should look at me and see the same morals and the same principles, the same values at 35, 40 years old that you seen in me when I was 20 and 25.
Facts.
Characteristically, people, we just evolve. You know
No,
what I'm
right
saying?
away. So, but where do you think that idiom comes from? I think that comes from, like, they mean it differently than obviously.
I'm receiving it.
Yeah.
100%.
Because I feel like when people be like, oh, bro, you know, you been the same one. You a real one. You been the same.
It says more about them than you.
Right.
And I mean that by saying that a lot of people don't grow beyond the memory of you.
Facts.
And
That's crazy.
and they would chain you to their memory of you. You know what I'm saying?
No, right.
And attempt to have you live up to that standard. Now, you would meet the standard because it's down here at this point, because you've grown beyond that. So now I'm looking like, look, the best way I could describe it to some degree is somebody, something, or everything be all end all, it's right now your nothing. Because you was on that level already. It's like getting on a skyscraper, an elevator in the skyscraper, going to the 70th floor, and everybody beneath the 70th floor tries to keep you there. And there's something entertaining on every floor. It's something fun. It's something that's humorous. It's something that's sexually appealing. It's something that's visually appealing.
Something easy.
It's something easy, but it's nothing like what you going to.
Right.
So I can always come back down here and fuck with y'all. Yeah. But where I'm going is where I'm going.
Yeah, I'm out of here.
You can come with me,
yeah,
or you can stay on the 50th, the 5th, the 20th, the 25th, or whatever the case is. But I'm going up here, man, and this is my goal. This is my objective. I don't care where you are, where you if you come, you can either come or you can not. You can stay. So it's simply that, man. People will chain you to who you used to be if you allow them to. I made a choice that you're not going to chain me to 1997. Whether it's the parole board, whether it's the judicial system, whether it's my friends or my cousins, you're not going to chain me to who I used to be, because I don't even give a fuck about who I used to be. It only matters because I had to be there to be where I am right now.
That's facts.
And that's just the realest I can be about it, man.
No, that's facts.
No
See,
bullshit.
and then just from the other side of it, that's the challenge right there.
Yeah.
Is like what you used to be don't matter no more.
Yeah.
And that's tough though for some, you know.
Yeah.
Even me personally, you know, I go through that all the time. I'm like, man, like when a motherfucker try you or something, you're like, bro, you have no idea. Like, and then you're thinking like, but he shouldn't have no idea. No, you know, we shouldn't even be on this.
Yeah,
like, this is some shit that's unnecessary.
I deal with that too. Like, man, especially in traffic.
He's stupid.
I'm gonna keep running with you. I'll be like,
I'll be
who the fuck
bad
you
as
think
a
you playing with,
motherfucker,
dog?
bro.
What you doing, man?
I'll be bad as a
You know what I'm
motherfucker. I ain't
saying?
gonna lie.
But then I'll be like, who the
you funny as hell.
I'll be like,
said,
dog,
especially
who the
in
fuck
traffic.
dude think he is, though?
No, you
Do
know.
you know who
and
I
it's like,
am,
dog,
nigga?
do you
What's
have
wrong
any
with you?
idea, fam? If you
You
get out
fucking
the
with the
car,
wrong
bro,
person, dog.
oh my life, bro. That's
But-
what I'm saying.
but
And it's
then I'm like,
that's the struggle. That's the struggle.
Yeah, it is.
You know, no bullshit. And especially for me, like I said, when I told you earlier, I caught my case on bullshit.
Yeah.
So now I think quadruple fucking times 16 times because that's what happened. I let him get the best of me. I was like, oh, fuck that. You ain't finna ride on. I'm finna ride on you before you get to. And then look at, nigga, every one of them. Him right there, that's him. Like, oh shit.
You be like, you motherfuckers told.
Damn, look right at me. Do you see
you
the
know
person
what?
in court today? They're like, that's him right motherfucking there. Like,
I'm gonna tell you something, dog.
That's
the other
crazy.
Day, not the other day, but about a month ago, I'm gonna say. About a month ago, I watched Scarface for the 100th time. But for the first time,
he said for the 100th time.
yeah, I watched this shit 100 fucking times in my whole life. But for the first time, I watched it and only listened to it. Cause I know the scenes.
Like audiobook type shit.
Yeah, I know the scenes like the back of my hand. I can tell you the first scene from the last motherfucking scene, right? But I listened to it like an audiobook to some degree. And I said, dog, this motherfucker Tony was tripping. Now this ties into what we was just talking about. When you come from nothing and you get the perceived thing that we call something,
Yeah.
and you get beside yourself, in a lot of cases, and it leads to your ultimate demise by way of your own destruction.
Right, because he killed Manny.
For what?
For what? Yeah, exactly. Like, that was your sister. If anything, it was going to be a good look.
Right.
At the end of it, that he actually fucked with
Right.
her.
So at 16, you couldn't have convinced me to say this shit.
He
Nigga,
said,
Tony Montana
I
was
would have
the
never
DR.
said Manny
Fuck,
was right.
Nigga, Tony was everything to me.
He funny. He said, you would have never got me to say
Yeah,
this.
Michael Corleone was soft.
Type shit.
But I'm gonna tell you something though. I was afforded the luxury by the universe, man, to get a little older, for my perspective to change, and I understand
certain shit now.
Yeah,
it's way different. Cause I mean, this is the thing, bro. They never tell you about the real love about shit, bro.
No.
All you know is, hey, bro, they hate you out here, fam.
Yeah.
This is the truth. And then even when it's, the brothers like the Israelites and all them that's trying to, the ones that come around, they get to preaching. Even they are like, they're missing the point of like, they're just telling you about all the fucked up shit.
Yeah.
But they don't tell you like, look, bro, you ever had a motherfucker look you in your face and tell you, hey, bro, I love you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, my uncle, I was blessed with an uncle who was like this. He was a drunk ass nigga for sure. Every day. Like, but not a day went by that nigga didn't come up to me and grab me for
they
real.
They got wisdom though.
Yeah,
they
and
got
he's
a lot
like,
of
I
wisdom.
love you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if
Like I know, motherfucker, get off me though.
Yeah,
Like, I got you. Whatever.
No, you drunk, but when you a kid, you like,
Yeah.
But now that I'm grown, I'm like, fam, I was blessed to have that, bro, because now I know what it's like. When I see my daughter, every time I see my daughter, bro, it don't matter. She's 7 going on 8, bro, and every day since she was born, every time I see
As
her,
you
bro,
should.
you know what I mean? Every fucking time I see her, I get this feeling where I'm like, ain't no fucking way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Ain't no way in the world, fam. Ain't nothing. You know what I mean? Like, this is what everything about. You know what I mean? And they don't explain that to you, bro. They just be like, and when I say they, it's everything. It's the culture. It's the motherfucking government, nigga. They telling you everything. They just throwing all this shit on you, bro. And you like, listen, man, I'm just trying to motherfucking eat good and love my fucking people, fam. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because that's some crazy shit.
Yeah.
And then you
makes
get taken
sense,
away
man.
from it. Psh.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So episode 1, when I did with Croft, I called it Culture of Cyanide. And we had a dope conversation about that. I thought you would like that though. It's like, it's culture. Is it culture of cyanide?
Yeah.
You know, because is the culture really for the culture, and all this culture shit we talking about, just what does that shit really do, fam? Because if you ask me, if you just are from just looking at shit, that shit killing us, bro.
In a lot of ways, I'm gonna tell you something, man. I'm gonna tell you something that's real controversial to some.
That's what we here for, fam. We want all the smoke.
Yeah. Profound to some, but man, I'm on the listen on Up in Smoke. not Up in Smoke, Under the Influence last year.
Yeah.
With versing them. When I said, because religion and cocaine made us enemies. In the freestyle I spit, right?
Yeah.
Religion and cocaine are probably, and I ain't even gonna go too far into this.
No,
I'm
right,
gonna just
right.
say this though.
We with the shits though.
are probably two of the most detrimental things for our communities because it takes away independent thought.
Yeah. Now,
You know
now
what I'm
you're
saying?
being guided.
Yeah, you're
You're
being
being led.
for one, you chasing the high of cocaine, right? In the 80s when the crack era hit and it ravaged our whole fucking community and it ruined families and the family structure and it took the father out of the home and it damaged so many things beyond repair. And then it pushed you closer to religion. So now it's like, I'm going to pray for this. I told my mama one time, man, my mama going to kick my ass for saying this too, but I said, Ma, you believe in whatever you believe in, but I bet you won't go on vacation and leave your doors unlocked.
Tell you shit.
Because you can't pray them locks on them doors.
Nope.
It ain't going to work. She was like, well, yeah, but it ain't no but. Because they even said prayer without works, it means nothing. So skip the prayer and go to the work.
I was literally about to say that, like that they say.
Yeah, they say that shit.
It's a because it's a. I think it's all about interpretation when it comes to that. When it comes to
100%. Yeah, it is like 1,000%.
Interpret it, because the way I literally have come up with my not my own obviously, but from what I've pieced together, I believe in God, but
right.
I believe that you have to use the piece of himself he gave, and then I hate to say himself too because it's right. That's some shit.
But
that,
for lack of a better term,
but lack of a better term,
no
when
doubt,
he gave you a piece of himself, but you got to use that shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? You can't just have it and not do what you're supposed to do with it.
Yeah.
And what I mean supposed to is there's basic outlines of human decency and rights, motherfucker. And I'm not talking about no America, every man is created equal. No, I'm talking about as a human being, fam. There's just shit you don't do that it's gonna fuck my space up because I'm a human too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's
some shit that you just don't do. Yeah.
There's certain shit like don't fucking
that.
take a shit on my lawn, motherfucker.
Right.
Don't fucking come steal my food.
Yeah.
Don't fuck my wife. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
all of those things that are gonna immediately violate my existence.
This is my shit. This is my my peace, my zone. And as humans, we should respect that. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
So that's what I mean when I say, well, do what the fuck you supposed to do. Mm-hmm. Be a good person. It's a such thing, fam, as a motherfucker being a good person, bro. You could be a motherfucker who puts their best forward, bro. And you
we
contribute.
all got a choice to do that.
You contribute. You have a choice to contribute or not do shit like you said. It's just the way we were taught how to contribute was to ourselves.
Yeah.
Which that shit's been not working at all.
Yeah.
And the culture pushed that, bro.
Yeah.
That's what the culture is. If you really break it down right now, the culture, when they say this for the culture, what culture, motherfucker? Like, all we know is...
Yeah. Like, what are you pushing? No, but when you asked me, though, was I rapping in the joint, that made me think about what you just said. I mean, what you just said made me think about that. I remember going in a room and trying to come up with the most shocking, the most outlandish lines.
Yeah,
shit
that just, when
when
they hear it, it's
and
just
it
like,
wasn't for me.
No, it's for them. It's
I was like...
It's for the validation that they like that shit.
I was like, you know what? I'm going to go out here. It's November.
He said it wasn't for me.
It wasn't because I liked the praise. I liked the shock value, but I knew that them niggas was going through some shit too.
Yeah.
It's just like I was. But they hadn't discovered their outlet yet. I had discovered mine. And I allowed them to share my outlet with me. Yeah. So I'm on the yard, saying what I'm saying, talking. I remember it's a line, man, in the song "The Vent" I got. But it's an old line. I kind of recycled it.
Right.
And I said,
which I do a lot.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
If
Because
it's
nobody
cold,
heard
it got to
the
go
shit.
in there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it got to go
if it's
somewhere.
hot, it got to.
Because the other song wasn't as good as the been anyway.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But I said,
in the event, I believe I love that video.
yeah,
That shit
dog,
cold.
yeah, that's my shit. That was one of my proudest moments, in all honesty. But in that song, I said, "Block full of suckers," so I hang out at the cemetery, and I was just like, "Hey, all the real niggas," like he spoke to all the real niggas being gone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
They're
saying?
not
Like
here no more.
I'm hanging out in the cemetery because I miss the energy and I miss the vibe of being loved, of being respected, of being taught, of being led, of being spoken to constructively. I miss that shit. So, but it was also double entendre because so the block is full of suckers. So I hang out at the cemetery. The cemetery, I'm here in the joint. It's a cemetery built by cells.
Dead souls, bro.
Like a whole bunch of shit. Motherfuckers die every day and don't even realize it.
Every day. And then it's just like motherfuckers dying inside, bro, the whole time. When I read that part in your book about the fam who was like, you ain't got shit, bro.
Yeah.
Your
yeah.
time
The basketball court.
Your time light,
Yeah,
fam.
yeah,
And you like,
yeah.
fuck you mean, bro? I just caught 20.
Yeah.
20, you think 20 like?
Yeah.
You know, and I like how you said that story because in my mind, you know, like I said, I was watching that shit like in my mind like a movie, fam, like some 50 Cent power shit. You know what I'm saying? Like
Dog, it
I
fucked
seen
me
the
up,
scene, bro,
like,
and you
I
was
was-
like, and then he was like, never seen him again.
Yeah.
And you know he in there right now.
Yeah.
If he hasn't passed, God forbid, but
Dog, that motherfucking paperwork, I had never, ever in my life seen the word deceased as a release date. It fucked me up,
I
man.
said release date, deceased.
I was 24. 23, 24, and I was
Child.
like,
That's a child, bro. Think about it.
deceased. I'm like, yeah.
When you was 23 and they told you a kid, you like, shut the fuck up. I'm a
Yeah,
grown ass man. Like, bro, you
and-
was a kid.
In retrospect, definitely.
You was a
And
kid. That's
dog
crazy.
Said, man, listen, go get your PRC papers. I'm like, what you want for what? I'm on
Yeah.
some tough shit for
Yeah,
what? What you
fuck
want?
you mean? Nigga, I got 20 years.
I'ma
Fuck
go
you
get-
talking
Yeah.
about? What the fuck? That's crazy.
That nigga showed me his paperwork, dog, and his paperwork said deceased. I said, what the fuck?
And then you like, yeah, my time super light.
I said, what the fuck?
Yo,
And I didn't even know. I felt like I disrespected him.
right. Like you
Yeah,
was
like I was
damn.
taking some shit for granted.
Yeah. Like you was like slapping the face to him and shit.
And from there on out, when I would see him, it was just a visual acknowledgement of,
That's it. Yeah.
damn.
You looking at a person who will
Yeah,
never
man.
see outside.
Yeah.
That
He lost
shit
trial.
nuts.
He lost trial. He lost appeals, and it was just like. So now he was resigned to giving people like me some jewels to be able to use in a chain of life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I was like, damn. And I never seen him again beyond Oshkosh because he left Oshkosh. I think he got kicked out of Oshkosh or some shit. I don't remember. But
You just never seen him.
yeah, I
again.
never seen him again, man. And like I think about dog quite often. Anytime I find myself, I read a book years ago called How to Live Without Fear and Worry. It was a book I had gotten from the Buddhist Institute. Because Buddhism is deep as a motherfucker, like 100%. But
I didn't even know that.
yeah, it's deep as a bitch. But dog, in the book, dog said, we complain about having no shoes until you meet a man with no feet. And I said,
Cause you want to be comfortable.
yeah, this motherfucker just want to walk.
He just want to walk.
That's it. And I read this quote about 7 years maybe after I had met dog. And I thought about him and I said, damn, man. Like, there's so much shit
But
that we take for
anytime in your
granted.
life that comes up, you're gonna think about it.
Yeah, I think about that shit. I
Something
be
like
like,
that.
fuck,
If
man.
there's anything that relates to how that happened,
Yeah, man.
you're gonna be
And
like, damn.
so now when I find myself getting too angry about some frivolous shit, or about something that really shouldn't, that doesn't warrant anger, I be like, well, shit, you know, man, just be cool. I constantly tell myself to other people, tell myself and tell other people, man, just be patient with dog, man. Like, he all right. Like, he good. Like, he don't know what the fuck he doing. And even if he do know what he doing, to some degree, he ain't reached the point in your life that you that you met.
Yeah.
Or reached in your life. So, I cut a whole bunch of people slack. And I don't know tough gangster shit. But I just be like, all right, man, you good. You know, you all right.
I got a cousin like that, bro. He my big cousin. And he in prison right now. He three in out of 7 right now.
Yeah.
So he still got 4 left.
Yeah.
And he a grown ass man, bro.
Yeah.
First time ever prison. And it's like, bro, like you think about all this stupid shit you did, and now you in that motherfucker.
Yeah.
And you like, and I know it fucked you up. I know that shit hurt. You know what I mean? So it's
that
like,
shit hard, dog.
Yeah, dog. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you, fam. That shit worked for me. They did their job, nigga. When I did my year, that's it.
Look. Hey, look, I just thought about this shit. I went to jail in 2017. Right before I met you.
What, like on some PV shit?
P.O. hole, dog.
Damn.
Day and a half.
The
longest motherfucking day and a half of my entire fucking life.
What's that fucking 36 hours?
Dog, the longest day I said to myself, I don't see how I did years of this shit. Dog, I sat down there, but really it was the perspective. I was done with this shit. I was done with it, dog.
Yeah, that's it.
I was done with it. And I sat down, I'm like, what the fuck? And I seen some guys I knew who I just seen on the street probably about a week before this, 2 weeks before this or something like that. I'm like, what the fuck y'all doing? Like, man, I'm down for a pee. Man, the bitch done caught the police on me, whatever. And I'm just like, dog, this is some bullshit. I was in a state of extreme analysis. I said, dog, we can't come out.
Yeah, that's it.
When I can't get in the shower right now. I said, man, you got me fucked up if you think I'm finna go through this shit more longer than what I did before, or as long as I can't do it, man, because I respect myself for one. Yeah. I respect myself first and foremost more than anything to subject myself to some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? I can't do it, man.
It really, you know, for that point, that gem he just dropped, it really is about you doing the shit you supposed to do, bro. And then when that shit happened, it's because you wasn't doing what you was supposed to be doing, bro. And, you know, as much as I fucking am, you know, I'm not going to say anti, but I just don't agree with how that shit works all the time, you know, on that side of the law enforcement. You know what I'm saying? So as much as I am on that, I still stop and be like, bro, sometimes you motherfuckers be doing some dumb shit. Yeah, and we gotta, you put that on yourself.
And it's rules and regulations that we have to be within the guidelines, the confines of.
Yeah, you should
and that's just the reality of it. It's no different than if you're taking your driver's test. There's rules and regulations you have to follow to actually obtain your license. And if you go outside of those rules and regulations, then you ain't gonna get your shit.
Right, shit, you'll never get it.
And that's just what it is. Cause I failed my test the first time too. So shit, but yeah, so it's definitely that, man. You know, it's chess. It's chess. It's high speed chess, like boxing. It's chess, and we take that shit for granted in most cases.
We don't play the game like we supposed to either.
No, we don't. We don't because the idea is to be as informed as you can beforehand, not even regarding the law. But that too. But be as informed as you can in order to defend yourself against any threat.
Anything. Yeah,
any threat, whether it's a legal threat, whether it's a moral threat, whether it's a psychological threat, any threat, you should be informed. You know, I'm gonna give you a fun fact, right? A lot of people don't know this. Niccolo Machiavelli never led a successful army, who wrote The Prince, who Tupac named himself after the fact.
Machiavelli.
He never led a successful army, ever. But he wrote the book, The Prince, on how to win a war. Because failing sometimes is just as informative as winning. So I can tell you what not to do.
Because I know what the fuck gets you to fail.
Yes.
Yeah, I did this. You should do the opposite of that. It's gonna make you. Yeah.
I walked down that road.
That's crazy.
Listen, why do you think the average marriage counselor ain't married? Because they know what it takes. You know what I'm saying? They know what it takes to fuck up a relationship.
We gotta look up these stats, man.
Yeah, which ultimately means that
he snapped. We gotta look these up because that's a cold stat.
Real shit. I can tell you what you should do because I did something that I shouldn't have done.
type shit.
The average wedding planner ain't married.
Isn't married. Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So the average coach can't even fucking play basketball.
That always trips me out, bro.
Yeah, but they know the game, the fundamentals
that always
of it.
trips me out.
Yeah,
It always
I
be like some
the
fat old
athleticism
dude or something. You
yeah.
like, how the fuck? How he gonna
I
teach
like
them
the
motherfuckers?
athleticism, but I got the psychological. I had the psychological wherewithal to tell you, dog. Listen, you great, but
He said, but
you can get better.
yeah, you could be. You
know
could be
what I'm
more
saying?
than this.
So it's
That's crazy.
It's real shit, dog. And you know that's the analysts in people, that's the strategists in people, and that's the chess that's within people that they know how to move. They know when to castle. They know when to give a pawn up. They know when to make a move that's gonna affect the entire game and not just the next couple of steps.
Not just
So yeah, man,
not
this-
just to
that
get
shit
out that
deep,
corner.
man. Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, because that's a motherfucker. But see, that's what fucks me up, bro. To realize that the mind state I was in led me astray to the point where when I did get in trouble, it was for some shit I didn't necessarily need, fam. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, and then you think back at all the times in your life where you really had to go get some shit because you was fucked up. You know what I mean? It's like the choices is a motherfucker, bro. But all right, so let's do one last question, and I'm gonna ask it. And this is a question I wanted to ask you because you a deep brother, bro. Like you really know your shit, and when you speak about it, you with that memory we was talking about earlier, you be going crazy. You be knowing like the references and the book names and shit. You know what I mean? But so I'm gonna try to start a trend. Not try to. I'm going to. But I'm gonna do a trend on the podcast where I'm just gonna ask everybody this: name a strategy that you believe is gonna help us, bro. Something that helps us, because everybody always talks about what we doing wrong, and we have to fix it like this. Me, I'm like, man, how about motherfucker just put a bunch of strategies together, see what match with each other, and then we'll go back and reflect on that shit, bro, because that's all we need.
I'm going to tell you this. The first thing that comes to mind when you ask me that is I know that we love principles that we don't live by.
Explain that, because that sounds crazy.
So it's like this. So if I'm with a group of my guys and something happens to not to us but with us at the same time, and I run off and I'm gone. I'm a coward. I'm disloyal. Whatever. Within that group of people, right?
Yeah.
And they're gonna talk about me, talk bad about me. You know what I'm saying? So you flip that, and I'm with a group of my guys, and I got a girlfriend, and it's a chick that's pretty, that's really that want to fuck with me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm still running away, pretty much.
Yeah.
But they gonna say, oh man, you tripping, you scary, you this and that,
scary, yeah.
you lame, whatever the case is. So the same degree of loyalty that I show to y'all, why can't I show it to my woman? And I've been guilty of this. I'm being 100%. My girlfriend will tell you I've been guilty. I've been wrong. You know, whether it was not the full-on physical cheating, but just entertaining somebody else. It's just like, hey, what the fuck? But you know, when it comes to my guys, I would never violate KV. I would never violate you. I would never.
I see what you're saying.
We love principles that we don't live by because in a lot of ways, the principles that we love require too much responsibility. They require too much discipline.
Gems.
They require too much self-control, too much self-awareness. Too much meaning that we ain't ready for that shit just yet, to some degree.
Shit,
you know what I'm saying?
You speaking to my soul right now, bro. That's super.
So it's like
the things a motherfucker struggle with on a daily. I'm like,
100%.
damn, like, because it's so, because you know, like you said, there's a certain code of honor and conduct that I think in my mind that has to be. But on the flip side of that, I got this mentality where it's like, shit,
that
I could
shit
do
goes
certain
away.
shit. I could do certain shit, you know what I mean? Like, I could do it, you know, I could
it goes
handle my
away.
business, and I'm like, you know.
I'm a player, man. I'm from
And it's
Milwaukee. I don't
like,
fuck about that
you feel
bullshit.
what I'm talking about? So I'm like, and then when I move like that, it's like, damn, that violates a lot of the shit
It
I
does.
stand on. You know what I'm saying? This is the shit I stand on. So that's crazy, bro. That's dope, fam. So yeah, that's your strategy.
Yeah, so
we
I
need
think,
to work
I think,
on that.
I think that definitely needs to be worked on because the loyalty is misplaced in a lot of cases.
Because
That's
of
why
that.
niggas tell
Because the
loyalty
value is
given to
different,
him and
yeah.
not to her a lot of times.
Right.
You know, we place the emphasis on the values in some of the wrong places. And I've been guilty of it. Like recently, I've been guilty of it as a man. And I'm just being 100% real.
No,
like
that's
just
facts.
like it's just being 100% real. I've been guilty of it, man. And I'm American. Like on some real shit.
That's crazy because I be telling people that all the time. Listen, man, we American. It blows my mind when they're like. It blows my mind when they're like, you know, look at, you know. And I hate to keep bringing that up, but it's just a major factor in my life and how I've grew up.
Yeah.
Because of being an American, but you know, what you mean? Where the fuck we learned that?
Yeah.
What you mean though? And then they make it. They've done so good on spinning they're just like that.
Listen, let me tell you
We
something,
like
dog.
that, fam?
Yeah, so I'm gonna
Like,
tell you something. So listen.
You know what I mean?
You know, you
Like-
read the book. I wasn't born in Milwaukee.
No, exactly.
I was born in Oklahoma. Went to California, Alaska, then came to Milwaukee. But I'm gonna tell you something. Milwaukee shaped and molded my character.
Yeah.
Milwaukee shaped and molded my perspective. The experiences I've had, the differences I've had within myself and other people in the world in this city have shaped and molded who I am as a person.
Yeah.
The same thing is my heritage isn't American.
Yeah, it's not.
My culture is. Even though this motherfucker don't even have a culture. It's all stolen. We know this.
I mean,
But-
that's the culture.
That's the culture.
That is the culture.
This
The
is
culture,
what we know.
This is what like.
This is what
you
we've
can't-
come to know.
You've
So
done
even
it
though I
so
wasn't
much you can't
born
even hide
here-
it in the history.
Even though I wasn't born here, my heritage isn't from, I'm talking about Milwaukee, but I wasn't born in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. My heritage is not from the Americas. We know we come from this other continent in terms of our heritage.
Yeah.
But the reality of it is this: we were shaped and molded by this shit. And it's not all wholesome. And it's not all negative. But it's all real.
It's all real, and that's what I be tripping on because they
all real,
when they be
yeah.
like, nah, you tripping, like, nah, you tripping. What the
Yeah.
fuck you mean? Like,
Yeah.
this is literally every day. Ever since I remember pledging the fucking allegiance, bro. I remember that shit, bro. And when I look back, I'm like, nigga, I would
fucking
not,
Monday, man.
bro. I would not do that shit, bro. Like right now,
Pledge allegiance to the republic, but we live in a democracy.
man,
Supposedly.
with your hand over your fucking heart, and you saying that shit.
I'm gonna
And
fuck
like,
you. I'm gonna tell you this. Then we just over. I'm gonna tell you this.
Yeah.
You know this too, cause you Hispanic. So my birthday is in October. It's the 10th month of the year. This ain't even no new shit,
Right,
right? But it's just been there that nobody really paid no attention.
right.
My birthday is in October. It's the 10th month of the year, right? So I say 10-5-81. But the prefix to 8 in Latin is octo,
Okay.
right? So why the fuck is it the 10th month of the year here?
Because they fucking change everything.
Because January and February didn't exist, according to the Gregorian calendar.
What the fuck?
Listen,
So it's only 10 months.
it was 10 months.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy.
So I seen this shit and I said, man, what the fuck is going on? It threw everything for a loop because I'm like, oh my God. So now what the fuck? So even with November.
He said, what the fuck?
So if I say a decennial is 10 years. It's a decade
yeah.
in Latin. Yet December is the 12th month of the year. You see what I'm saying? So it's the prefix that represents 8, 9, and 10. That's 2 off because it's, you see what I'm saying? So all of this shit nobody really pays no attention to because we so fixated on other shit that's probably frivolous or just stuff that's more
Yeah,
important like kids or
fucking-
family, whatever the
Like
case
the
is.
fucking Christmas tree.
Yeah, that's a phallic symbol. Man, that shit get
Yeah,
deep
that's
as a
some pagan
motherfucker,
ass
dog.
shit. No, I get it. See,
Yeah,
but,
it's pagan as a motherfucker.
but me, the reason I fuck with it is because it's like it symbolizes way something in my mind.
It's
I don't
nostalgic.
think about that.
It becomes like listen. My mama is probably in the most in the Christmas spirit more now this year than she's ever been. And I ain't gonna say ever, but in a long, long time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's good to see that because what it does for her is it brings about joy. It brings about her, and her name is Joyce, by the way. So, Ma, what's up with you? But it brings about joy, and it brings about happiness, and it brings about the love of this season. So it's not necessarily paganism that we celebrate. It's just the fun and the joy because, man, we've been fucked up for so many years, man.
Yeah, I like to have that shit, bro.
Like on some real shit. I'm gonna tell you something, dog. 400 years, right? Slavery, servitude, whatever the case is. Let's just go 1865. Bam. The Emancipation Proclamation come about. The black codes come. Bam, okay. Then Jim Crow. Bam. Then the Civil Rights Movement. Bam, et cetera, et cetera. All of this other shit. So the Civil Rights Movement stopped around 1968, 1975, or somewhere around there between the Panthers going away and between Dr. King getting killed. So go back 50 years. That's freedom for us.
50 years. And then it's freedom, but it's like
yeah. And I'm gonna tell you something else though. I'm 41, nigga. So 9 fucking years.
It's conditional freedom. Yeah. So
it's
9
all
years.
it's all conditioned. It's all nominal.
Yeah, it's all some shit that they just trying to control but that shit's crazy, bro.
But the real freedom, the real internal freedom comes from knowing that you can do as you want because you don't gotta own nothing to be a boss.
No, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
You because I always say boss existence is done by way of moves and choices.
Right.
You know, if I gotta pay a bill here versus buying these motherfucking J's, I'm gonna pay this bill.
Yeah, if you make good choices,
that's
you'll be
some
on
bullshit.
point.
Yeah, 100%. You can't lose like that.
Right.
So when you talk about that, I mean, when you reference that shit, it all ties in, man, to ultimate freedom. You know, Patrick Henry said,
which is the goal.
That's the goal. Patrick Henry went to court 100 fucking years ago, maybe more, and said, "Give me liberty or give me death." That's how I feel. Because anything beyond liberty, if I can't have it, shoot me dead, man.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't missing fucking these bitches or partying and shit and smoking weed and drinking and shit or doing this shit. I wasn't missing that in the joy. I was missing the opportunity to do this, the options to do this.
The choice.
The choices. That's what I was missing. So when the motherfuckers say you ain't missing shit, you a motherfucking lie.
Yeah.
Don't lie to me, man.
Because you don't know what I would choose to do.
Let's switch. Let's trade places then, because you out there fucked up living on your mama couch. Fuck that. Don't lie to me. Don't tell me I ain't missing shit.
That's facts, man, because it definitely matters.
Hell
when you have that choice. I'm telling you, bro, a year was enough for me, fam.
Yeah.
It was.
That
was
it.
Been. That was it. Nigga. I was like, what? I'm never doing this shit again,
man. That's the shit have been. Ain't nobody got time.
No
for that
bullshit
shit.
though. I was on bullshit. I was on bullshit for a little bit when I got out.
Yeah, because
for a lot of it, I was wilding. I was wilding.
Because, man, listen, man, we young, dog. I mean, we was young going through that shit. You know, which is necessary. Hard lessons and shit matter. They work the best. For me, they did. You couldn't have just said, "Hey, don't touch that fire; it's gonna burn you."
No, I gotta see.
How bad? How bad is this shit gonna burn me?
I bet you I get out of it before it burn me.
Yeah, no bullshit.
Hell no. See, fuck that. I grew out of that right away, fam. Yeah. Immediately, I was like, nope. Because you know why though? I feel like I'm one of them motherfuckers, bro, that get on some serious but funny shit.
Yeah,
I'm the one that always do the shit everybody else do, and it never go for me. I remember the first time I ever tried to file somebody on taxes, bro. I got audited. I'm talking about, bro, it's been years on years on years I seen niggas faking that shit, bro. Never. And the one time I tried, they audited my shit, bro.
Dog said I got audited.
Hit me for like seven.
That
seven
shit weak as a
bands.
motherfucker.
But they sent half of it. So I only owed them $3,500. But
right.
Because the other half never came because they fucking stopped that shit. I was sick with it, fam.
Dog,
but you know, I feel like
that's
why I be trying to I be trying to be smooth because I feel like it just don't work for me.
Man,
and that's why I got to be authentic too. Because anytime
yeah.
I've got out of my, like when I called my case, what the fuck was I doing? I was just trying to be. I thought that's how it should be.
Yeah.
And that's the main message I'm trying to get off with this podcast now. Because I'm just trying to. I want to do it. You see how we talk?
Yeah.
It was political, bro.
Yeah.
We don't think about it like that.
No,
a lot of people don't.
Somebody else
but when
will be
you
like,
break
oh
that
my
shit
God,
down, you're like, bro,
whatever.
this is the politics of human ways, fam.
This is
what
the
we
conversation that niggas have when the cameras ain't rolling.
do. You know what I mean? And it's like I want people to know just regular. What the fuck is the word? Is it jargon?
Yeah.
You know, just regular jargon, bro, amongst motherfuckers who
Yeah.
just really out here living life, man.
Yeah.
And I want that to transfer through to show
Yeah.
people something. You know what I mean? Eventually, I want politicians because I don't know nothing about the midterms, bro.
Yeah,
that
them
shit just
motherfuckers
happened,
ain't.
fam. And I'm telling you right now, I couldn't tell you one talking point, bro.
I know enough about them motherfuckers.
All I
to
know
be
is
like,
how shitty all them niggas are because they had every commercial that was shitting on somebody.
Listen, that shit was hilarious. I'm gonna lie.
Hey, they was on Mandela
No,
ass,
no.
bro. They was on his ass, fam. Every day I went to work and you heard Mandela Barnes is a bad guy. I'm like, what the fuck?
No, man, like that shit was. Politics are funny. Like the ads and the campaigns are hilarious because we know what it's for. It's not even like you doing something that we don't think that you trying to bash a motherfucker about. We know what you doing.
No, bro, that's the scariest part to me.
That's what I'm saying.
To me, that's the scariest
it's like,
part. Like,
man, you mean to
motherfucker, you
tell
not
me-
even, you literally, bro, you telling me that you know this some bullshit, bro. You not gonna tell me about what you gonna do. You just gonna post this. What the fuck they said? They said, Tim Michaels let racist stuff happen at his company and did nothing about it. I was like, what the fuck? What you gonna do to help me, fam? I pay taxes, bro.
No, but they had the black dude on there talking like, well, I used to work for Tim Michaels.
Oh, bro.
And I found the news over there. Man, come on, man. Why you ain't quit?
Nigga,
But
that
no,
shit be
it's
killing me.
what I understood, man, what I came to understand, should I say, is the fact that we as a people, as blacks and as Latinos, we always got it up on our own, man. As they call it, put ourselves up by our bootstraps.
Oh,
We've always
how
done
much
that.
I love that saying.
We've always done that, and then it became problematic in a lot of cases when we stopped solely doing that and began to partially rely upon some assistance from outer sources. And it became a thing. It was like, man, we don't need y'all, man. We don't need y'all.
Well, shit.
It's red tape we got to go through. But
nah, bro, but that's the scary. That's why everybody going through what they going through right now. Because they don't want you to ever think that that's the truth, nigga.
Yeah.
That you could do it by yourself.
Yeah.
You know, that's all I'm saying on that. Because
Yeah.
you know that's some real life shit.
Yeah,
but I always told, like I told my lady all the time, bro. Like, hey, on some real shit, one day I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna be ready to take that position, and that means I'm ready for the consequences.
Yeah.
That mean I might not be here because because I know, you know, I smoke and I drink and I'm goofy and whatever, but I know, you know what I mean? I know what's going on, you know what I mean? And I have ideas on how we could help change it for the better for us, you know what I mean? But I know what that come with.
Yeah.
You know too. I know for a fact. All the
Definitely.
names you was naming, the books you read.
Yeah.
Bro, you can't, when you get to that level and you reading shit and you're understanding it to the level where you like can change your life and it enlightens you to the point where like that's a dangerous thing for
Which
a
is part
motherfucker
of
who
the
wants you to
reason-
feel like you're not full. You're not
Yeah,
complete.
which is part of the reason they didn't want us to read during slavery and shit, because
Exactly.
because they sent me to the hole. I remember I went to the hole, man, in 2014. For having, because I had a list. So there's a list of books in the Department of Corrections in Wisconsin that are considered denied. You can't have these books.
Denied as in they cause inflammatory reactions and shit.
Not
like
even that. They just yes, to them they do.
Yeah.
But to us, it's empowerment. It's self-empowerment. It's strategic empowerment, it's psychological empowerment, all these different things. And you know, it's the ISIS papers, it's the 48 Laws of Power, is Beyond
So
the
you can't
Broader
read that?
Files. You can't have none of that shit.
What?
I had all that shit. I had all of it. And
He said I had all
I
that
did.
shit.
I wouldn't give a fuck about none of it because at that point I was like, well, I'm gonna get in trouble for some other shit. You know what I'm saying? I ain't finna get in trouble for fighting you or being into with my man, somebody who look like me or look like us. I'm done with that shit. So
I'm gonna get in trouble because I read some shit.
they ran to my room, took my books, took me to the hole. And I'm in the room, right? And I'm in the hole, and they got me handcuffed and shackled. Like I'm handcuffed here,
Yeah,
and
and
it's
your ankles got
handcuffed,
them-
all of that shit.
Yeah.
And it's like a loop on the floor. They tethered me to the floor.
Yeah,
Bam.
yeah. Ooh, I hate that.
And the
shit.
motherfucking white shirt come in there and was like, well, we just want to make sure you're not some type of white nationalist. I mean, black nationalist.
That's
crazy.
crazy.
I said, would it be okay if I was a white nationalist?
Right.
He said, don't be a smart ass. I said, so you want me to be a dumb ass? He said, get him out of here. I said, okay, fuck it. At the time, I had been gone 11 years, damn near.